Hello everyone, happy Hub Day. It is Wednesday night and it is Cobalt, and we are here for the British Grand Prix for the fourth and final time of our ALR adventure. Incredible, really has been, hasn't it, over the last few evenings. It really has indeed. I've enjoyed your company. I hope you've enjoyed mine as well. And of course, I'm still feeling, or was it feeling? Feeling there, the old banter from last night. Absolutely cracking 17. I loved all the puns last night. It was really good 17. And it was carrying on right into the break of dawn, wasn't it? Anyway, hopefully we'll have a bit more decorum here tonight. Well, I hope so. Anyway, but of course it's a Cobalt, and there is any ever decorum in the Cobalt. Well, that remains to be seen. Sir Dave's got a full qualifying ban for being a naughty little Dave, so he is not going to be taking part in this qualifying session. So hopefully he's got a good race set up. As we are ticking into about 30 seconds in this qualifying session, this is a golden opportunity to go for the drivers and the constructors standings. And at this moment, it is a very after free event. So we was expecting, we were showing that Hammerton just ran away with it, didn't he? But goodness me, he's had a major wobble in the last couple of events or so, hasn't he? Goodness gracious me, he is. Goodness gracious me, he's only 1 point in front of Starburst, so 2 points in front of J-Dog. That is how close it is in the top of the standings. Very nip and tuck indeed then, and I absolutely love it. So great stuff, Ben. Then we got Dukanko, who's about 17 points away then from J-Dog. Well, J-Dog's not racing here tonight as far as I'm aware. When I had a little gander in the absences not too long ago. Casal in 5th position. He's been storming since being confirmed a full-time driver for Ferrari. Brooks in 6th position there, but I don't think Brooksy is taking part tonight as far as I can see. He is down in 6th position. Paris in 7th position. Smith, your mighty 8th. Iron Knight in 9th position. And Booty Delight in 10th position. Buck hasn't scored a point yet for the Mercedes team. DGS has got 1 point. Stars has got 2 points then. In the constructor standings, Aston Martin are leading by 5 points from the AlphaTauri in 2nd position. Alfa Romeo is in 3rd. 4th position is the Haas team. Ferrari in 5th. 6th is the Williams team, along with the fellow Mercedes powered car of McLaren in 7th position. And 20 points away is the Alpine Renault car in 8th position. 9th position is the Red Bull Racing Honda powered car, and the Works Mercedes is down in 10th position. They're only on at 16 points so far, which is not a very good not a very good start for them, is it? Unfortunately for the Mercedes team. But luckily, Cobalt, of course, this is the first ever. This is the first full season in Cobalt history, isn't it? So, of course, I think this time last season, we was coming into the twilight of the World Championship, wasn't it? But this season, we ain't even in the halfway stages just yet. Here is Hammerton, and it's a good opportunity for Hammerton to try and extend his lead as much as possible. We've got a Aston Martin, who's, of course, leading the Constructors' Championships, but Ginner's had a bit of an issue there. This is a good opportunity then for Hammerton. He's a point in front of Starbus, and he's 2 points in front of J-Dog, who's not here tonight. So Hammerton really needs to knuckle down tonight and get the performance in that he needs. This is the first race then for Cobalt, where we're visiting a Silver's left for session then. So we're revisiting this. The first race then at Cobalt this season is racing on for the second time then in their careers. If that makes any sense, then goodness me, that is absolutely good stuff, because I know. Oh my gosh, and that's a Ferrari part on the entry into left field there. My word there. As Silver's been disqualified for parking in a dangerous location. Well, no calls for me. Goodness me. I bet that frightened Hammer Time. My golly gosh, then. Anyway, yes. So this we visited Silverstone last season. So this is the first race on the calendar where we're revisiting a calendar, and let's just take a look at last season's pole position times and all that kind of jazz, shall we? It was Brooks who won the first ever Cobalt Grand Prix. It was you mad bro, of course, the eventual Cobalt World Champion, who was on pole position, and of course I got the fast lap as well. So I think that Hammer Time, unfortunately, didn't have a very good start to his career or season, because I'm sure that he did get half spun on the opening couple of laps, possibly. Here is Hammer Time, and he is about to start us on our journey then here in Silverstone. He's done a 27.677, and that is that's a very good banker time to get us on our toes, isn't it? Great stuff indeed. Here comes Craig R in the Williams there across the line. He goes second fast at Monet. He's over second behind Hammer Time and in the Williams. Craig R, of course, is a reserve driver, is he there? So he needs to get into the run of things. Scooby Stew has crashed in a very interesting place. I don't know how he's crashed. Going up into the run up to Vale there. Oh dear, that is not good at all, is it there? And oh my word there. So that is a big blow then. Hopefully we can find out what happened. I've just had a look at the weather. Well, I haven't had a look at the weather. Yeah, I don't even know how he's ended up over there. It's unusual to see a car on that side of the circuit there. We've had a lot of incidents on the inside there. I think Ericsson had a big old smash there, didn't he? In 2015, in a very damp, it was free practice, free session of 2015 or 16 when Sauber was in their blue colours. So so he went head over heels, didn't he? Unfortunately, coming out of Stowe. Here comes Booty Delight then in 10th position in the World Championship. So he's doing a very good job. Booty Delight is in car 19, very good 17 then over the final. A couple of corners then, and Booty goes full fast at the moment. It's the slowest of the runners thus far. Buckass is well, up and ZJet has also started as well. Silva is back in the session, and we've got no drivers on a quick lap at the moment, but I think that is going to be put to bed now, because ZJet is going to start a lap. We're on board the Mercedes driver as he comes across the line as well, and flying in to turn number 1. Then goodness me, he's gone wide then, and unfortunately that's too wide. Track limits there. That's a slap on the wrist there for ZJet there, and he is going to have to start again unfortunately for CGS. So we're going to go to Picasso then, who's also invalidated his times. My goodness me. So we've had 2 drivers invalidated their times so far. Dukanko has just come out of the pits then. I'm wondering then if he knows about the issues that Picasso's had behind him. Winning on an outlap at the moment. We have also got, I've got to adjust my headpiece. There we go. Gosh, these headphones make my jaw really ache then. I've been moaning, haven't I, and groaning about this new headset, goodness me, since the dawn of time, haven't I? Gosh, I'm used to the PlayStation 4 flimsy headset, so it's really annoying, this one is. I might have to invest in something else, I think. Yeah, so I do miss my old PlayStation 4 headset. Oh, good times. Craig Arden has gone, I think he's gone for a second by the chair, and I think he's improved his time by 0.3 of a second now. It's a good 17th there for Craig R in the second Williams. We got Jinner, who's now started as well. So let's go on board Jinner, and then as he comes into the first intermediate split time as well. Let's go to the comments then. Kakarot Goku, rain in race, and goodness me. Gordo, hello, good evening, Gordo. Come on, Ferrari. Vintage evening, all good evening, Vintage. Goku for the win there. Well, for Vintage, that is a bold prediction there. How are we doing, Ginger? I am very well, my good sir. Of course, Gallagher getting his 3rd podium of his career in bronze last night. An absolutely spectacular performance there. Of course, he was in the Aston Martin car as well, isn't he? So Aston Martin now could be very happy. I think they've had a very solid British Grand Prix event, haven't they, really? I think that joint constructors are not, I think they're Lancashire, not positioned as joint constructors, haven't they? So they need to really hopefully get themselves sorted out, kind of thing, and get themselves up the order a bit then. But unfortunately, they are Lancashire down in 9th position there. Unfortunately, Aston Martin are. Kakarot Goku saying it's a full wet race, and goodness me. It's been shared with those big eyes, and he is very concerned about that, isn't he? Finishes and Sirius Mushroom, even all this game sucks, and from Sirius Mushroom then a very positive attitude there from Sirius Mushroom. I love it. We've got Jinner coming into the final couple of turns as well, for accelerating away, and let's see then what Jinner can do. It comes across the line, goes third fast, and remember that him and Starburst are now the Constructors Championship leaders, and so far in Cobalt. Well, we've just done about 9 minutes on the clock then, and I must say we've only got 5 drivers who've set a time so far, so they're not really too keen on going out on the track at the moment, are they? Smith Mighty going full fast instead. Of course, he's got a podium to his career in Cobalt now, so he's going to go from strength to strength, which is great to see indeed, isn't it? Vinny out the final turn, and Vinny goes 7 fastest then in the Red Bull car. What about Buckass then? Buckass, who I can't believe I'm saying this, hasn't got a point so far in his career and his championship campaign this season, but I'm sure that is going to be not going to be too long before he gets in the top 10. Then I'm sure that Dukanko goes 7 faster than the Aston. No, he ain't in the Alfa Romeo. Good stuff, Ben, for Dukanko. Got ZGS going for a second bite of the cherry after he invalidated his first time, so he's going for a second one. Now the final turn, and ZGS goes 6 fastest in the Mercedes. He's in the 20s as well. That's a very good time there from ZGS. That's pretty impressive. Good 17 then. Picasso, who's on another outlap. He's on a new set of soft tires. That's 2 sets of soft tires he's used in the first 10 minutes of the session there. Is that going to be crucial? Well, we're going to have to find out, aren't we? Is Picasso then just coming out of left field then. So yeah, this could be very crucial, because remember at the end of the session now you have to be very strategical about your tyres and about using them on what part of qualifying. Now Picasso's invalidated his time. Do not worry about that, Picasso fans. It's Oh gosh, we got to worry about that though for Buckass fans there. He is well off the circuit there on the inside of Cops, and he has damaged the wing now. And yeah, so Buckass is going to have to come into the pits there, unfortunately, and he's going to have to get out in a set another time, because at the moment his time that he's set is not. I don't think it's going to be good enough to get him through into qualifying too. So he's going to have to get something sorted there. So we got Winnie going for a second bite of cherry, and that second bite of cherry has got him up into 7th fastest out in the Red Bull. Lovely stuff indeed there. Absolutely great stuff. Dukanka going for 2 runs around here then. This is interesting because a lot of the drivers are doing 2 runs around here tonight. Fantastic. Dukanka goes 7th fast as well. There's a car in the background now, and that is the Williams of Picasso. Well, I think it's starting to stop as well. Let's go on board Picasso, who he's got the speed, hasn't he, there, but unfortunately in the race there he just struggles. He just seems to find trouble, or does trouble seem to find him then? That's what we're gonna, well, hopefully, whatever the case may be, Picasso has a lot of bad luck, doesn't he, in Cobalt, so hopefully he could get a bit of a clean pair of heels then as well. Yellow flag goes, yellow flag then as he is now coming down the Wellington straight as well. Picasso is there before coming into Brooklands. The yellow flag is, I think it's Iron Knight, isn't it? It is Iron Knight just setting on his way as well. Just carrying on the comments there as well is Vintage evening Vintage. Sorry, evening Mushroom. He wouldn't be saying evening to himself, would he? Well, Vintage. Well, you might do. I don't know. It depends, really. Of course, the first sign of madness is, of course, when you're talking to yourself, Ben. Or is it the first sign of intelligence? I like to say the first sign of intelligence, because in the fact I do that 4 days a week is essentially I am talking to myself, really, aren't I? But there we go. Picasso down the back straight. 2 dura zones around this around the Silverstone circuit. There used to be 3 on the start-finish straight as well back in 2018 or 2019. I can't remember which year it was. But then we're back to 2 dura zones then, of course, down the Hangar straight and down the Wellington straight as well there. We've got Liam D, why rain, why? Scooby Stew lost control and the car staked and finally went around there. So Scooby Stew, it looks like he had a very longish crash there, because it looks like it started down at Stowe and unfortunately finished just before he got to Vale. Picasso up in the 3rd position. That is quite a nice time, and I would hazard a guess that should be good enough to get himself into qualifying 2. Because Booch is a light then as he goes into the very incredible fast part of the circuit. There's the area he goes into Maggots and Beckett's hugging Beckett as well. Now going through Chapel as well. Now coming down the Hangar straight. You got a dyno this Hangar straight then, but Booty for some reason is he's letting the car through, I think now. So that's why he wasn't dying in the straight there. And Gino then is he carried on then. So Boo being a very gracious young man there, but unfortunately that I don't think he should have been too gracious there, because unfortunately because of that, Jenner came in the pits. And here comes Crusty T in the Ferrari on a lap. Here's Liam D though. He's coming down the Hangar. He's coming down the Wellington straight as well. Liam D in the Alpine. The only Alpine that in this qualifying session, as his teammate Sir Dave has unfortunately been put into LR jail for this qualifying session. And of course he now to pass go. He now to collect £200. He has to stay in the garage until the race time is on then. So that, unfortunately that's what you get for being a naughty driver, Sir Dave. Oh my gosh, sir. And his teammate Liam D was almost in the hedge as well. My word then, as Lucky Boff has left the session there, so hopefully he'll get back in the not too distant future. I can't see him on the table on the left hand side there. I'm gonna have to adjust my Specsavers, I think. Well, he's back in the session. He's back in the session now then, but I can't see him on the tower yet. Crusher T down the Hangar straight as well. We've got Rin saying Scooby Stew has had too many Scooby snacks then. We have also got Scooby Stew. I should have practiced. Oh dear. So Scooby Stew is coming here a bit on the back foot there. Goodness gracious me. Gurman saying Nosey is a Liam D fan there. Gurman is saying good stuff indeed. Then I got to say, as Sarah's Rush say, that who is that with a standard helmet? How dare they? Shocking behaviour, it really is. Yes, it is indeed. I think it was a Buckass there. So yes, I'm absolutely horrified by seeing that. Then of course we don't like standard helmets here, do we? I do like Liam D's helmet there, and the fact that Liam D has kept that helmet since his debut in Bahrain, well not his debut in Bahrain, has kept his helmet since the first race in Bahrain earlier this year. I love it. Of course your helmet helmet is I've had a long day. Your helmet is a your signature, and of course it's like a footballer when they have a signature like number on their back, don't they? Of course, so when you think of Gerrard, you think of number 8, then of course, or number 4, depending on who plays for England, and all that kind of stuff, all that kind of jazz. Then when you think about number 7, the first person I think about is the famous Harry Kewell, who used to play for Liverpool and used to play for Leeds as well, didn't he? Harry Kewell did back in the days. Goodness me, it's absolutely great stuff indeed. I got a lovely new helmet shown there. German is saying that's cracking stuff. I can't wait to have a gander at German's helmet on Sunday, and of course, and that's a beautiful plug there. As of course, we are back at ALR's back in action, and we're on 4 days on, 3 days off, and that's the perfect work week for me, isn't it? As Liam D, goodness me, that's not the perfect race at all. Oh my gosh, there, and Liam D's out of control, and he's in the pit lane. He's parked on the oh dear, Liam D then is actually going to start behind his teammate there, and that is another way of entering the pit lane now. He was well out of control, wasn't he? I think he might have spooked himself there, Liam D, because I think he should have been okay if he kept going there, but that was a bit wild there for Liam D, and he's also going to damage that Renault engine as well. It's the Aston Martin having to take a wider line through there, and I think that we've actually ended our qualifying at 1 session here, haven't we? Goodness me, we're counting backwards there. Goodness gracious me. Oh, look, the sun's out as well. Fantastic, isn't it? I don't think we're going to have much of the sun now, so get used to the sun and get used to the DRS as well. As Buckhouse going very wide there, taking the IndyCar line through Copse Corner. But Smith might retire from the session. Yeah, get used to the sun around here, because I think that we are going to have a very wet and wild British Grand Prix, and that's what I like to hear. Very good 17 then. As of course, I used to be a big old fan of the log flume, or the log flume, of course, at Alton Towers, and I think that it used to be at Drayton Manor as well, wasn't it? Where they had Storm Force 10 then. I love that log flume, brilliant 17 then. Oh, it's the water log, isn't it? I think is what it's called these days, but yeah, love the water log. Liam D, I don't even know there from Liam D, and unfortunately had a big old smash coming into the pit lane now, and Liam D unfortunately out of qualifying. Buckhouse comes across the line. He does a 29 now for Buckhouse. All Iron Knight and Lucky Boff has got to do here is just set a time, and they are through into qualifying number 2 then. Because I think that we've already lost our drivers and then some as well. So I think Sir Dave is actually going to start 15th on the grid there. So he's going to be overjoyed with that result. Styles is out of qualifying. Liam D is out of qualifying. And we have also lost Scooby Shoo as well. And Silva, who's got disqualified for parking in a dangerous location there. Critics saying Styles for the win there. Styles is saying, I wish that. Hashtag 7 figure the King, Kenny and Suarez there. Critic alibi when he's figured out the number 7 in the Liverpool. In Liverpool as well. And of course, I also actually think of also the person that comes to mind for Liverpool when I think of number 7 is of course the great Robbie Keane. Then I think he wore the number 7 shirt as well, didn't he? I really liked Robbie Keane actually. He's one of my favourite all-time players. I absolutely loved Robbie Keane. I don't know why, because he was a Spurs. When I think of Robbie Keane, I do think that he's like a Spurs player, don't you? When you think of a player in the first team you think of, when you think of a player, in the you usually associate him with a team, don't you? And Robbie Keane, when I think of Robbie Keane, the first team I associate Robbie Keane with is Spurs. There's that lucky Boff has gone fast there by a whisker in front of Hammer Time, who's been the benchmark right from the get-go here, hasn't he? So Hammer Time has very much been pull it fastest, and there we go. Keep the comments coming in, ladies and gentlemen, as well as of course as Iron Knight comes across. Line goes full fast as the two Haas stars are looking quite strong. They're quite peerless as well. Once again, then they. No, I think that's the end of qualifying, really, isn't it? So we've got our drivers then through into qualifying for 2. Out of qualifying is Silva down in 19th position. He was parked in a dangerous place, but in the middle of left field then, which is quite dangerous, isn't it, to say the very least then. We have also got Scooby Stew in 18th position, Styles in 7th position, Sir Davis in 16th position, Liam D unfortunately out qualifying, but he will start 15th on the grid as well. Critical boys with me. Robbie Keane is a Spurs man for me. He is indeed then. Is a Lucky Boff. Whoop whoop. P1 G1. And of course he's coming there. It's a slam dunk, isn't there, for Lucky Boff there? And a game set and match there. Well, it's more of game first, isn't it, there? Because the set in the match doesn't come until the end of qualifying 3. And who's that off the circuit there? Buckass doing a bit of lawnmower in there, and they're coming on the circuit as well then. I think that's Buckass and Bottas there. Goodness me. Two very familiar, two very similar names there, going to their very own lawnmower in school there. Buckass is that. Of course, Buckass would love to get off the points mark here tonight then, and I think think he will then. He's been very unlucky, Bottas. Now I've said that, I'm going to be calling him Bottas now, I know, for the rest of the session, which is absolutely appalling to me. Bottas said, unfortunately, hasn't finished the race yet in his ALR season so far, but he has been very unlucky. He has been up there, hasn't he? But unfortunately, sometimes you just don't get the rub of the green, do you? Cressida T then coming through Stowe Corner. He's run very wide there, hasn't he? Cressida T has, before he's coming into Vale. Cressida T has, but he's going to finish off his lap now because he's the slowest of the time runners who is through so far in the Ferrari. But let's see if he can let's see what he can do then. As he puts the time on the board, he goes for 12 fastest now, the Ferrari does. And that is qualifying one done and dusted then. Good stuff indeed then. Gagor goes starting in the pits on a brand new engine. I wish that was an actual feature of this game then, where you can start in the pits on with a brand new set of wheel trimmings and everything. Unfortunately, you can't do that on the game yet, can you? But that'd be really cool to have in the F1 2022 game, perhaps. Not sure what it would do in league racing, though. But I think the likes of Murphy and Bradfield, goodness me, they like starting from the back of the field anyway. So on the pit lane start, good grief. I think that'll suit them down to their boots. What it really is. I don't think qualifying is our most favourite time on a Formula 1 game. It's only a hunch, so I could be completely wrong. But that is just my hunch, and I'm sticking with that hunch as well. Oh, we've got Champions League stuff tonight as well. Great stuff indeed. Then I'm going to refrain from having a look at any of the scores because it would probably make me depressed. That is Liverpool's against AC Milan, really. A bit of a flashback from 2007 and 5. Great stuff. Lucky Boff is fastest there in the Haas car. Great stuff indeed there, but he's 9,000 of a second in front of Hammer Time, who in turn is 12,000 of seconds in front of Starbus as well. That's very close indeed, isn't it? Goodness gracious me. As we're just going right down to the bottom of the grid there. Silva qualifying. Unfortunately, he's been disqualified for parking in a very silly location. Scuba Stewart qualifying out of smash there. Stars out qualifying. Sir Davis got qualifying ban, and Liam D had a smash coming into the pit lane. Critical by said, Sean, how do you feel that Liverpool have only managed to play AC Milan twice in the UEFA Champions League out of the entire competition this year? How many times have we been in the how many times have we all been in the competition together? It's ridiculous, isn't it? Really, isn't it? Because AC Milan and Liverpool have basically been. They've been really the pillar of the Champions League, haven't they? Really, of course. When you think Champions League, you think of like AC Milan, you think of Liverpool, you think of Manchester United, and all that kind of stuff. Maybe not the winners from last season, Chelsea. I would never think of Chelsea as a Champions League team, but there we go. That's just my humble opinion there, and I'm just trying to ruffle up a few Chelsea fans as well. 12 minutes. We've got 14 minutes in this qualifying 2 session then, and this is where it's going to get very interesting in terms of strategy and things like that. I think if it's a full wet race, though, I don't think the drivers are going to be too concerned about what tyres they're going to go on, are they? Because but they are going on tyres anyway. Critics saying on there, think of United, maybe more Madrid. Real Madrid's synonymous with Champions League, isn't it? And they really are indeed. Barcelona, Real Madrid, Juventus, Inter Milan, AC Milan. Goodness gracious me, then the list goes on. For some reason, I always think of I always think of Ajax as well. They're quite synonymous as well with the Champions League. As out of the pits now comes Picasso. We've also got Picasso on the field now on the medium compound tyres. And let's go then. So let's see what Picasso can do as he's coming through the loop as well. And now he's down the back straight. So we've got a couple of drivers coming out of the pits. So we've got 50 minutes in this qualifying session now. So Cryptic saying I'm going to watch the Liverpool game now. Good luck to Cobalt as well then. So see you later, Cryptic then. Yes, indeed then. So as we're now ticking to 3 minutes to 8 o'clock UK time as well. In terms of we are in the UK as well, aren't we? For the British Grand Prix as well. Remember, this is the 4th and final race of ALR action in the British Grand Prix before we head off to Hungary and round 9 then of this 20-round Grand Prix season then. Of course, Portimao has been on has been added onto the game, but of course ALR is not going to be adding Portimao till next season. We're on a 24 race calendar for ALR next season. It's the longest race calendar in ALR history, so I'm absolutely looking forward to that one. That is going to be a cracker, isn't it? I'm looking forward to having a league race around Portimao as well. It is a cracking race, isn't it? A cracking race circuit, but I have a feeling it's going to be very dramatic as well to watch. And it's great to have a race in Portugal in ALR, so looking forward to that for next season, for season 7 of ALR. Great 17, and Cobalt would be their 3rd season. Out of the final turn then for Picasso, so he's about to start his lap then, and here we go then. Well, they don't need to drive on medium tires if it's a wet race. Kakarot Goku is saying, and Stars is saying, yeah, I definitely agree with you there, because I was saying earlier on this session about it's going to be a full wet race. So I'm not sure why drivers are going out on the medium tires. And we've got Craigar, Picasso's out on medium tires. Well, we've got Craigar, who's ruined this lap, is opening to this lap there, unfortunately. So he's going to have to go around again, Craigar is. So he's going to be kicking himself. That's the worst place to spin on the circuit, isn't it? Because that's really lost your momentum. I'm going to lose an abundance amount of time down the pit straight as well, so that's not good at all, is it, for Craigar? We got Picasso then, who's going over the grid hatchings then, and coming up into Cop's corner as well. So here is the Williams driver. In the background there is the championship leader. It's hammer time at the moment then. It's like Picasso taking the IndyCar line going through Cop's corner as well. Great stuff indeed there. It's very unusual, isn't it, there, because you get a track extension if you go slightly wide there. But if you go out on the concrete, 4 beans out on the concrete there, you don't seem to get anything there. So yeah, interesting stuff there. But I'm not sure about. Well, I suppose you probably might lose more time the wider you go then, perhaps then. Well, that's the Codemaster's stance on it, but I'm not too sure on that one. Just got Picasso then now coming into the Vale chicane, so he's the first driver to post a time on the board. Out of the following turn, then he comes out. Picasso goes fast as then to start us off then on our journey. He's done 28.5, but we got Hammer Time done 27.6, almost a second quicker than Picasso then to open up to this, the opening spa of qualifying 2 here at Smith. He goes second fastest on those soft tyres. Craig then, who's going to complete a lap here, but unfortunately I don't think he's going to be as competitive as he would like, because he had a bit of a had a spin, didn't he, to open this lap up, so he's lost a bit of time. Craig RS, and he's only lost 2 seconds actually to his teammates, so that's pretty good. That's pretty good going there from Craig RS. That's a really good time indeed. Here's Jinner out of the final turn as well, and so here comes Jinner across the line as well. He's a very good qualifier, Jinner is, but he has tend to struggle in the races so far in his ALR career. But hopefully, but of course, there's always a race where you can really put the wrongs of right then from any races that you've had bad, where you've had some bad races in the previous events. And Buckass goes at 5th fastest moment, and what about the second Aston Martin car? Here he is, and his Starbus goes fast as they're on the soft tire, 3/10 of a second in front of Hammer Tom as well. That is a pretty impressive time there from a Starbus. He's only a point off the championship lead, isn't he, Starbus? He's having an incredible fun in the last 2 races. Butchie Delight going 6th fastest in the second Alpha Tari as well. Good stuff indeed there for Butchie Delight. Yeah, so in the last couple of races or so, let me lean forward. In the last couple of races or so, then I must say that his Starbus has been on the ascendancy. He really has indeed. He has had a first, had a second in the French and Austrian Grand Prix, and that is why he's now only a point away from Hammer Time, the championship lead there. And here comes car 69. It's the Krusty RT into turn 1. He goes. So yes, of course we haven't got J-Dog tonight. Then who's 2 points away. So J-Dog is going to lose a bit of ground in the World Championship, but hopefully he can. Well, J-Dog's probably hoping that there is going to be a wild Grand Prix, and by the sound of it, there might be a wild Grand Prix as well, as there is rain afoot then is now to finish off our Silverstone adventure here in ALR. And whatever way would you want it there, we've had so many action-packed Grand Prix in the wet around Silverstone, like 98 for example, which I spoke about already in the last couple of someone just jumped up a competition there. I think that was Winnie, wasn't it? I think it was. Winnie's out of position there. Of course, so we spoke about the 1998 British Grand Prix in the wet. What about the 2008 Grand Prix in the wet as well? That was a fantastic race, wasn't it? 2015 as well, where it's a dry race there, and then it transitioned to wet, and Hamilton came in the pits at exactly the right time. My goodness me. I got to say, that was absolutely crazy, that was, wasn't it? I can't believe he came in. I thought he made a mistake there. I really did. I was quite unhappy there, because I thought he let Rosberg through to win the race that year. That was also the year, wasn't it, where the two Williams was absolutely flying, weren't they, as well? It was a great season for them. It was a great. Crusher T is invalidated this time, so he's going to have to go around again there. Unfortunately for him, then Ducanco is about to start his lap off as well in the Alfa Romeo. Over the line goes then car 29, Dukanko is that. So Dukanko's about to start us up then as we flick it in to turn 1. Yeah, so I think that was the two Williamses there, wouldn't it? But I think the Bottas was quicker, wasn't he, than Massa that stage. But Williams refused to adopt team orders today. And did that cost them the race there potentially? Maybe. But it's very interesting to look back on that race like that there and what could have been then perhaps. And if Williams were a bit more stronger, they could have probably they probably might have got a win there potentially. But yeah, that is a very big if indeed, isn't it? There? So that could be completely hogwash then. Here's a driver who's definitely not hogwash. It is Dukanko. He's one driver with so much potential as he still hasn't won a Grand Prix yet, which I find absolutely astounding there. But I do think that it's only a matter of time, isn't it, before Dukanko could win in his first race of his career in ALR. And he's certainly got the talent, hasn't he? But has he got the luck on his side then? And has he got the strategy as well? Because sometimes it's not all about talent. This is also about judging the strategy. And the strategy tonight is a 4 wet race, whether it's going to be the intermediates or the 4 wet tyres remains to be seen then. But we'll soon find that one out then. We'll soon find that out, and we've probably got about another 20 minutes or so before the start of the Grand Prix at Southend. So hang on, folks. I know a lot of you might be here for the main event, which is the Grand Prix at Southend, but of course we do enjoy qualifying as well, don't we? It's absolutely it's a festival of speed then. Out the final turn as well then, so I've got my cable stuck now. And out the final turn now comes Dukanko. He's done a 29.5 so far. Look at that then, it's out of the pits. There comes Arnaud as well. It's quite a perilous pit out here, isn't it? Goodness me. As we seen, I think it was Dylan there, the bronze champion, that half spun it when he was racing. I can't remember who he was racing now, but he half spun it, didn't he? And unfortunately, that may have cost him his third Grand Prix win of his career in silver, potentially, because he lost an abundance amount of time there. Here comes ZJS across the line. He goes 8 fast, and that's a good time there from ZJS, and on the medium compound tires as well there for the Mercedes. Brilliant stuff indeed then. As Church would say, yeah, come on, Duncan/Dave, as dead the moment. Duncan Dave Dukanko is currently in 10th position. Lucky Boff is out on circuit as well. He's the and I was going to say he was quickest in qualifying 1, but and he's also damaged the P0 Pirelli polystyrene sign there. So Lucky Boff this lap is done and dusted for car 98. He does have time though to do another run if he needs to. So Lucky Buffer, unfortunately that time is done and dusted. Is Dukanko going for another run here? He's a 10th of a second down in the first split time. He's 3/10 of a second down in the second split time. So I don't think he is going for another run here. So I think Dukanko might be. Coming back in the pits on that one. Here comes Booty then, who's starting his lap as well. Picasso is also starting his lap. Then who is the longest through? I think we're going to stick with Booty for that then. A lovely shot here from the side pod of that AlphaTauri. Great 17th then. AlphaTauri not leading the constructors at the moment, are they? Of course, that is the Aston Martin team now. But I think the AlphaTauri are very much in striking distance of the British Racing Green team of the Aston Martin. So let's see if they can regain the Constructors' Championship lead then by the end of the session here tonight then. As Booty Delight getting a bit squirrely on the exit there, as he is now going through Woodcut and now into Copse Corner as well. Look at that then. Looks like a cul-de-sac, doesn't it? But there is the entry. He's gone a bit wide then. He's gone way too wide there. And goodness me, he is going to be in the wall. Oh, he kept out of the wall. Fantastic stuff. Oh, but he has backed it into the barrier there. Yeah, good car control there from Booty Delight then, because a lot of drivers would have gone into the wall at full pelt there and ended his qualifying, but he is luckily still in it there, albeit then he might have to change his underwear there perhaps. Picasso's gone a 10th of a second up in the for second split time there. Uncle Boff get the softs on for him. Serious Rush there, of course. Serious Rush is going to be a Boff fan here tonight, isn't he? Of course, as he is driving the Haas car, Serious Rush's most favourite race car on all of the teams, I'm sure of it. Picasso's invalidated at the time, and he's also invalidated this time as well. It's gone way too wide there. Booty then, I think, might be coming back in the pits. He is coming back in the pits. Good stuff indeed. Buckass is invalidated this time. So let's stay with Lucky Bob then. Oh, is a Haas car who's recovering, and he has to get out of the way quite urgently as the Mercedes is coming up right behind him. So unfortunately, one of the Haas cars has slid off there via night. He's on the soft tyres. We're just watching his teammate Lucky Buffett going through Copse Corner. I love that shot. That's fantastic, isn't it? Look at and he's gone wide there, hasn't he? There, and it's only look how little wide he went compared to the other driver there. But of course, that was. Gained him an unfair advantage, didn't it, according to the race officials there, and he is now unfortunately validated. It's time to have to come back into the pits there. The Iron Knights is actually retired from the session now, so the highest he's going to be is 13th there. I'm surprised that Iron Knight is retired from the session at that stage then. So goodness me, because he's got a couple of minutes to go. He's got about 3 minutes to go in this session, hasn't he? So I'm quite surprised by that. Sarah stunning car of the Haas. It is, isn't it? And of course, it might get even more studied. I must admit, I haven't heard much about the rumours of the Haas team and about the change of ownership lately. There's a lot of rumours going around. When I say rumours, I was just watching a YouTube channel, but they was talking about maybe Rich Energy and of course Bad Santa, if anyone knows the reference. Of course, we all know about William's story. Could be back in F1 and sponsoring the Haas car again. Goodness me! And it's funny how fit these things just come around now. I'm not sure of how legit those rules are there, but how legit those rumours are there. But goodness me, just think about that. I must admit, I haven't heard anything about that though for about several months, so it's gone very quiet, hasn't it? Now, but of course, we have heard, of course, about Mazepin's dad maybe taking full ownership there away from Gene Haas, which is such a shame. Then, of course, I think the Andretti team also tried to buy the Sauber team or the Alfa Romeo Sauber team in a couple of days ago as well. Gina goes third fast at just more than half a second improvement. That's really impressive indeed. That good stuff indeed. That. As Mazepin's dad there might be taking over the Haas team as well, and also it'd be great to see an Andretti name back in Formula 1 now. We haven't seen an Andretti name in F1 since 93? Am I right in saying that? I'm not sure. If that is the case, then I think it is the very unlucky Michael Andretti who drove for the McLaren team for a couple of races. I say a couple of races, I think it was the majority of 93, wasn't it? His last race, I think he was on the podium in the Italian Grand Prix before he was replaced by a certain flying Finn. Not a serpent. Goodness me, he's not Slake, is he? I don't know. A certain flying Finn of Mika Hakkinen there, the double world champion, McLaren legend through and through, as I think he only drove for two teams, didn't he? And I think it was the Lotus, and then the McLaren team Mick Hakkinen did, and my goodness me, he really ruffled the feathers of Ayrton Senna there, the three-time world champion. I think he out-qualified in Portugal, didn't he? My word there. That really, he really stormed in, had a great old debut, didn't he, Mick Hakkinen did? Really good stuff indeed. And of course, I was a Hakkinen fan until David Coulthard went to McLaren, and then of course I'm a big old David Coulthard fan. He's a two-time winner around this circuit as well. I'm not sure if I've mentioned that before, Coulthard. But of course, as soon as Coulthard was to the McLaren team, Hakkinen, unfortunately, was public enemy number one for me after the Australian Grand Prix in '98. So I was a very unhappy chappy as he let me come back through. But I've got to say, looking back though, Hakkinen was an incredible driver. He really was indeed. Very lucky in the 1995 Australian Grand Prix. Cressida T goes at 9th fast at the moment. There are 6 seconds to go in this qualifying session there, and Cressida T is in qualifying at the moment. In time now, Dukanku's gone a bit wide then. Who else out there at the moment? Booty is invalidated time in, so that is not good at all for Booty. I think my time's a little up there. More chance of Fly Tori coming back then at Rich Energy. Serious Rush was saying then, so that probably quashes the rumours then that I read then earlier on, that I read about 18 months ago. Goodness me. Uncle Boff has left it too late there. Serious Rush is saying Dukanko unfortunately is cut that corner too much as well, and he's invalidated the time and the next time, and Dukanko is going to be out qualifying here. He is out qualifying. That's a major shock for me and for his fans as well. I'm surprised to see that then. Booty unfortunately is invalidated his time. ZGS said it started as well. Booty's coming back into the pit. Said anyone else out there? So ZGS says, and who's that? That's Cressida T, who has found the I think that's the old pit lane, isn't it? I think it is. So he's found the old pit entrance. I could indeed that for Cressida T. I think he's playing the old hide and seek game. Of course, if anyone remembers the hide and seek event that Knowlesy put on last season and the season before, in between when we had an interval between seasons, I think the Lucky Boff is. I think Cressida T has found a lot of people's hiding places, including mine now. So damn you, Cressida T. Damn you. Lucky Boff Ben, who Serious Russian thought he left it too late then, but Lucky Boff Ben is out on circuit and he looks like he has got time on the board then, or he's certainly allowed to put a time on the board then, as long as he doesn't invalidate his time. Let's see what Lucky Boff could do in car 98 as he comes into the Vale for the final time then in this qualifying 2 session. Let's see what the Haas car out of it as well. He comes over the line and Lucky Boff goes second fastest. That's easily cleared the bar. Buck Ass there has done a bit of a spin now, and unfortunately unfortunately, that's Buckass out of the Grand Prix as he recovers back into the pit lane. Then CGS coming out of the final turn. Then Buckass has been disqualified for driving the wrong way, which means I think he's going to be relegated down into 14th position there, which means Iron Knight moves up to 13th, if I'm not very much mistaken. As Dukanko there, who's got a head in his hands, kind of moment. Dukanko has, unfortunately, out qualifying at 2. Then we've got Buckass down in 14th position, Iron Knight in 13th position, Dukanko in 12th, Winnie in 11th position there. Those are the 4 drivers out of qualifying. Every car, apart from 2 drivers that on the medium tires, which is Craigar and Picasso, I think those are the only 2 drivers that haven't looked at the weather forecast there. So potentially, the Williams team might have to invest in a new weather forecast system, as it looks like that they have shown dry, whilst all the other 9 teams are showing it's going to be a wet race then. So we're now then just counting down to the end of qualifying 2. Just going back to my Mika Hakkinen old rant, then of course he was very lucky that he didn't perish in that horrific accident in Adelaide 95. And that was the last time F1 raced in Adelaide. A scary accident indeed there from Mika Hakkinen. Of course, so he did bounce back. 96 there, 96, he had flash of brilliance there. 97 really won his first Grand Prix, albeit Villeneuve and Coulthard let him through in Jerez for 97. But 98, my goodness me, 98 was incredible, wasn't it, for Mika Hakkinen? 99, he also won the championship as well, but that was a cracking seat. That was a crazy seat of F1 99. I really got a soft spot for 99. I love 99 of Formula 1. It doesn't get spoke about enough, in my humble opinion, but there we go. Schoolboy error invalidated the lap in the last corner. I was on for 28-0 there for Dukanko. He is out qualified. He is down in 12th position then for the Alfa Romeo team, so he's going to be disappointed out there. Dukanko, he's said that was a bit of a schoolboy error, but luckily you don't score points in qualifying, you score them in the race itself, don't you? As we're now into qualifying 3 then. We're about 40 seconds into qualifying 3 then. And who is going to come out of the pits first? I see an Aston Martin car. I think that's an AlphaTauri as well. It's hammer time coming out of the pits then. Picasso, it looks like he's going to be the first driver to emerge out onto the circuit as well. And indeed he is then. So here he goes, and he's now going, oh goodness me then. So he gets a bit of the old wheel spin there. And now coming out from under the dip of the circuit there. And away he goes then in car 21 then for the Williams driver. We've got Craigar just behind him as well then. Good stuff indeed then. Yes, so this the final qualifying session then from the British Grand Prix. Let's see who has got what then, who is going to be on pole position then for the 8th race of Cobalt tonight then. We have got 3 so far. Brooks is the only driver this season to have multiple pole positions, but we do have a lot of drivers on 1 pole position so far this season, which is Starbus. We've also got Hammer Time on a pole position there with Paris and Dukanko as well. Only Hammer Time and Starbus, the only 2 drivers that can get multiple pole positions. The other 8 drivers have never been on pole position so far this season. I think that Picasso just drove into the wall there. Hopefully I'm wrong on that one, but that did look a bit suspect to me. And I'll play a lot of oh gosh, I've forgotten what it's called now. Oh no, it's the one with the aliens. Among Us, that's it. Among Us, goodness me, terrible stuff. A serious question. I love 99, especially with the flake. As we're just watching as we're just watching Picasso going down the straight off. Just these headphones are too big then, so I try to itch my head, and then I keep smashing my earphone. My word, I'm trying to stay still as well because I keep making a rustling sound. I think I'm not sure if we can hear it on the stream then, but I can definitely hear it in my headphones now. Maybe because I'm a bit paranoid because some people mentioned it last night. Out of the final turn then for Picasso, and away he goes then to start us out. And Picasso has not been on pole position so far this season. Can he make amends then and get on pole position as well as he comes over the brow of the hill then? Lovely stuff indeed then before he exits into turn number 3. Yellow flag is one of the Haas cars, the only Haas car left in this session, which is Lucky Boff, as he is just cruising down the back straight as well before accelerating away. And going down at the Wellington Straight as well for Picasso. And goodness me, there is a car. I thought that car was almost sideways in the background there. I think it was an Aston Martin there. I think he was just at full beans, wasn't he? Goodness gracious me, that was fantastic. It really was indeed. Picasso coming out of left field and now going over the grid hatch as well then for Picasso. He's not used too much battery power just yet, as he is about 77% and coming up in the Cop score as well. The Aston Martin is going to catch up to that, going to catch up to Craigar, isn't he? Going from Cop's corner. That Aston Martin is flying out there at the moment. We're going through Maggots and Beckett as well then. A lot of understeer for the Williams. Excuse me a minute. Oh my word. And now going through Chapel then, and down the back straight, down the hanger straight as well, down the National straight then. I don't think it's the National straight, is it? And now flicking it in to Stowe corner as well. As we got a Alpha Tower, it's very precarious. I hope I'm going to the bar there. That Alpha Tower, it's hammer time. And yes, he has. He's got major damage to the championship leader. Picasso's gone fastest there, but Picasso's invalidated his time, so he done that as he come across the line there. So that time has been invalidated. As Ginner's gone fastest, and Craigar is second fastest. Oh my goodness me then. So yes, so it's unfortunately Picasso, he got his time on the board, but unfortunately he was off the circuit, wasn't he, when he done so that time was eradicated, and he has to go around again. Well, he can't even go around again, can he? Hammer time then is Cruz, and he's damaged the car as he crushed your T. It's on a lap then, but I'm going to keep an eye on Lucky Buff. I can't keep an eye on Lucky Buff then, because unfortunately he is invalidated his time, so he's going to have another bite of the cherry. Starburst has gone faster. He's done a 27.5. He's 3/10 of a second in front. Then Starburst said the only one or two drivers have been on pole position in their previous races here this season. The other driver in this session, so the other driver is of course Hammer Time, who's had a sticky end then, unfortunately, so far. And just a lovely, I've got to say, that's a very Carmen shot, that is, the Haas car. As goodness gracious me, that's unusual to see a Carmen Haas car shot, isn't it? Especially with the likes of Mazepin in that car, especially with we've had a lot of banter about Mazepin and being 21st of the 20 driver championship, as Kubica is now in front of him, because I think he finished 14th in the Italian Grand Prix on Sunday, so that's why he's in front of Mazepin now. Goodness me. So especially with a name like Picasso, could be a bit more colour on his helmet then. Serious Mushroom is stating there. We'll have a look at Picasso's helmet in just a jiffy. At least he's got one on this week, so I don't think he had one on last week or the week before. I remember saying about it in one race, I can't remember which one it was then, but so at least he's got one helmet, at least he's got a helmet on tonight. Anyway, Lucky Buff and down the back straight then, look in the foreground, and that's an Aston Martin. I think it's a bit too far in front for us to get the cheeky old slipstream then, as he flicks it into Stowe corner as well. Of course, that corner always reminds me of when Schumacher broke his leg. And talking to Schumacher, there's a documentary on Netflix, which I'll be definitely giving it a good old watch on the weekend on Netflix. Of course, I'm really looking forward to that, the Schumacher documentary. Lucky Buff going across the line, he goes faster, and by 200 of a second in front of Starburst, he is on pole position so far in the Haas car. Great stuff indeed. What about, look, Krusty? Unfortunately, Krusty T is in 5 days' time. Booty has got a much more cleaner pair of heels across the line. He goes 6 fastest. Booty does have 10 seconds away from from Smithfield Mighty at the moment there. And Crusher T, unfortunately, is invalidated this time as well. And so that's a couple of laps now that Crusher T is invalidated. So that is not good for the Ferrari team and the Scuderia. The only Ferrari representative in qualifying 3, Lucky Buff there, is using his doing a bit of rallycross there, isn't he? Craig R, my goodness me, he's really full pout, isn't he? He's 3/10 of a second up in the second split time. That's amazing time there from Craig R. Really good stuff indeed there. And I think that he's going to be in the ballpark of Ginner perhaps, and can he get, he's still on the second row, whatever happens then at this moment in time, but I'm wondering if he's really going to lower the benchmark, isn't it, between himself and Smithfield Mighty, which is definitely what he wants to do, is in the Williams car. Out of the final turn then, and Craig R is in the 27s, he's close, but no cigar, but he is full fast at the moment now, 2/10 of a second away from Ginner, 4/10 of a second away from Smithfield Mighty. Craig R has done 3 laps on those tyres, doesn't he? Smithfield Mighty comes across the line now. Also improvement as well, but he's still 3/10 of a second away from Craig R at the moment. Craig R on a great lap there. Booty is at 9/10 of a second down then, so I think that Booty might be coming in the pits. They're on board with Picasso, and he's using a bit of slipstream now for Craig R, but unfortunately they are not they are not on a quick lap at the moment there. So Russia's not happy with Lucky Buff's lap at the moment. He is not happy that he's shown him and Farf up then in the Haas car as well. I fear that Haas team will be very much reeling about what happened in Silver on Monday night. Of course, opponent at the very least, and Serious Mushroom had a good job, had a good race, I would say, of recovering to a 10th position there, really. So I think that was a point gain rather than anything lost from Serious Mushroom's side of the garage. I don't think from Far's side of the garage there, he probably would have got a bit of a time off there from Gunther Steiner, perhaps then. And he might have even got some advice there from Kevin Magnussen on how not to smash Gunter Steiner's door as well. Just watch Picasso, who's on an out lap at the moment. His teammates just coming into the pits there. So Picasso, the only driver at the moment there on the circuit that is on a lap. Lovely shot for the nose cone here, the Williams car, and then coming around the final turn then. So let's start a lap as well then with Picasso across the line, and he goes there for the Williams team. The Williams, of course, a very historical team, and they've won multiple drivers' championships. But the last World Drivers' Championship they won was back in 1997. I think they won the constructors as well that season with Jacques Villeneuve, of course, in only his second Grand Prix season. Jacques Villeneuve was there, but of course Frentzen there was his teammate as well. But Frentzen only had 2 seasons in the Williams. I don't think Frentzen ever felt comfortable in that Williams team, did he? Unfortunately, and that is. Which is a shame, really, isn't it? Because Frentzen really showed some amazing performances in the Sauber team in 95, especially in 95. So I think he got a podium in Monza, didn't he, in 95? Fantastic effort there from Frentzen. And he also, and I think that, unfortunately, on the Williams there, just didn't, only one Grand Prix win for the Williams team in 97. The team that was pretty impressed there. It was quite shocking for Frentzen's point of view, unfortunately. But he did have 2 very famous Grand Prix wins for the Jordan team in 99 there, of course, the French Grand Prix, and of course in the Italian Grand Prix as well, where Hakkinen went off the track in the second of the double first chicane, and of course that was before they had the single chicane into turn 1 in Italy, and that was of course that was unfortunate there for Hakkinen, but it was a joyful French as well, as we had a 4-car shootout for as Picasso's not after that, so he's abandoning and come back into the pits there. As we had a 4-car shootout, didn't we, for the championship going into the European Grand Prix, and that was a fantastic race. I always talk about the European Grand Prix qualifying because that's one of my favourite qualifying sessions of all time. If you watch on YouTube, you wonder why, but the last couple of minutes is fantastic. Same with Austria 98 as well, actually. Austria, where it's absolutely pelting down in Austria. Now, I don't think the drivers came out for 40 odd minutes in the qualifying session. Remember, that qualifying session was back when you had hour-long qualifying sessions. You didn't have these 3-parters that we have today. And for the first 30 or 40 minutes, and that was it was just Martin Brundle and Murray Walker talking all kinds of nonsense, weren't they? But I must admit, I enjoyed those times there because they never used to broadcast the practice sessions back then, and it was a good opportunity there to catch up on the chat and gossip there. So sometimes the hour-long qualifying session was very good for the older folks like me and me, for example, because it was a good opportunity there to catch up with what's going on in the world there. Otherwise, you would have to use buy auto sport, and unfortunately, it was £3 back in the day. Goodness me, that was usually all my pocket money gone. Oh my word! Ginner down is into the Vale chicane. Then here is Ginner now. He's been on the front row of qualifying. He's there, but on pole position. Cobalt before it's today for the Aston Martin across the line there. He's not quick there as a Starbus invalidated his time then, so he's going to have to go around again. Then Booty is on the same set of tyres there, so that's not. He's not going to get the premium out of those tyres, unfortunately. And now Hammer Time, who's had a bit of off-roading in the first attempt there, lost his whole front wing there. So Frank Toss there is going to be another team principal that is not too happy with his driver then, albeit he is in the World Championship. Let's see, Hammer Time out of the final turn then. Let's see what he can do. And he is pole position there by 10 for a second out for the championship leader. That's exactly what he wanted, was it? That's exactly what he asked for as well. Booty is going the wrong way through Cop's Corner, but it looks there. Hopefully he's got a sat nav, because I would have been so confused there. But luckily he's on his way. Good stuff indeed there. Ginner is... I think Ginder's on an in-lap at the moment. Starburst has gone the 10th of a second quicker in the first sector time. There's serious Russian saying Craig are close but no cigar. Where did you get that from, Sean? Then I must admit, I actually didn't get it from anyone. I think it just. Well, Booty's out of the session there, and where has he gone? Has he done a Fiat? I think he has done a Fiat. I didn't even see where he was, to be honest, because I wasn't even looking. But I think he's done a Fiat there, hasn't he? No, he's going. So I think he's retired on the circuit there, which is not a good thing to do at all. And unfortunately for Booty, I'm going to report him to the stewards now, because that's the kind of person I am there. So yes, unfortunately Booty has, and we're going to get on the stream as well, there we go. So he has retired on the track there, which is a very naughty thing to do there for Booty. Out of the final turn from the Starburst, goes across the line, he's on pole position out for the British Grand Prix. Wow, good stuff indeed there. Craig R, I think, has missed the boat there, and who's that? That's Lucky Bob, for goodness gracious me, he's off the circuit, he is in the barrier, and that is his qualifying done and dusted. Has Hammer Time got anything under the bout line? No, he hasn't. Aston, he's down in second position there. I couldn't get my words out. Smithy Almighty is a 10 for 2 turns, second down. ZGS is going for another time run as well. Let's see what ZGS can do then out of the final turn then. And here he comes then as Smithy Almighty goes 6 fast at the moment. ZGS is down the back straight. Then we've also got Crustier T, who is coming into the final. Oh, goodness me, he's gone wide then, but he's luckily kept it on the circle. And Crustier T out of the final turn. He goes 9 fast then. And he's going to be in front of Picasso as well. What about ZGS then? This is a great qualifying performance then from ZGS then. He comes into Vale as well then for the Mercedes driver then. And he is now out of the final turn as well. And he comes across the line. And let's see what he's doing. ZGS is 4th fastest. That's a magnificent time now for ZGS. He's got my star at qualifying. Wow. Impressive stuff indeed there. But I think but just impressed there is Starburst getting his 2nd pole position of the season. He's the first driver to get 2 pole positions this season, apart from Brooksy. And he is on pole position and for the 2nd time this season, for the 2nd time in his career as well. Well done to the Aston Martin team. Well done to Starburst as well by 45 hundredths of a second from Hammer Tom in second. With Lucky Boff, unfortunately not getting a time in the end. And ZGS, well done in 3rd position. Fantastic performance there from ZGS there. Serge Rush said he wants the Nürburgring back then, or the Nürburgring back then. I love that Nürburgring back. I was hoping it'd be one of the classic tracks, but unfortunately I think they've classed China as one of the classic tracks, then, which is very much a low blow. We've got Liam D saying first race, no traction control of the rain, so it will probably end in the wall then. But I think that he might be surviving the fittest night, Liam D. If you keep going, you might get a point or 3. Or 2. We've got Serious Red saying that you'll be fine, Liam. Take your time. And yes, take your time, Liam, and see what you can do then. So we're into so we finished qualifying now then, and that's an absolute doozy of a qualifying session as well. Fantastic stuff indeed. And look at that then, they weren't joking when they said rain then, and that is a lot of rain as well. And I think there's wet tyres are going to be on the cars for sure, I would say, because that is a deluge of rain, isn't it? Goodness gracious me, it's raining cats and dogs out there. And of course the same umbrellas from the Austrian Grand Prix as well. Well, they're going to need a lot of umbrellas there, aren't they? So I hope Rihanna's on the hand then. Lucky Boff fan has just said no rain then. Oh my word! I got to say, I had a very unusual tea tonight. I've had a bit of a pasta with tuna and sweet corn. Absolutely delicious stuff. But it was a bit of a meal deal really, because I literally came home from work about 5 minutes before I had to get on with streaming, and so get on with the show, I should say. Then so really it was kind of like wolf it down, get on with it. Right then, as we're now into the race itself, but Gunnar saying then, well done at Starburst and Gina then with 4 exclamation marks there. So Gunnar is very impressed there. Good luck, let's have it from a Serious Mushroom as well. I'm a bit concerned about this waiting for players though, isn't it? So I might have to talk all kinds of nonsense again as well, which I must say Serious Mushroom has enticed me to talk about 99 some more then, because he says that he loved 99 with a flake, didn't he? So yeah, I did like 99. It was a good season. It was a really good year actually, really good 17. The only disappointing about 99 was how much of a rotten year that Damon Hill had, really. I think he only scored 7 points, didn't he, in that season, which is absolutely a travesty, considering the season before he won a race in the Belgian Grand Prix, didn't he? And the second half of Jordan's season was fantastic. Him and I think the Jordan team as a whole were brilliant in the second half of the season. Up until that Belgian Grand Prix race, didn't they? Is that the first time they scored, or was it the British? I think it's the British Grand Prix is the first time they scored that season, wasn't it? Without Schumacher getting a point, which was absolutely incredible stuff there. So as the tyres are all on the wet compound, they're all on the wet tyres. There's that Lucky Boff who's a very bit of a novel line there. Lucky Boff is. I'm not sure what happened there, but it's completely ruined the polystyrene brake boards there. Let's go for the grid there. We've got 20 laps to go. We've got 19 cars out there. This is going to be a challenging time for every driver, I think, then. It's going to be a tough one, to say the least. And Starburst on pole position. Hammer time alongside him of row 1. Row 2 is Lucky Boff and ZGS said. ZGS a brilliant qualifying. He's my star qualifying. Starburst getting his 2nd pole position of his career and the season as well. Jinner in 5th position, Craig R in 6th position, Smoothfield Monty 7th with Booty in 8th position, Crustier T in 9th position, Picasso in 10th bed, Winnie outside the top 10 in 11th position, 12th position is Ducanco, he's out positioned surely in the Alfa Romeo, 13th position is Iron Knight then with Buckass in 14th, 15th position is Liam D alongside his teammate Sir Dave in 16th position there, 17th is Styles, 18th is Scooby Stew, 19th is Silver. Silver got disqualified from qualifying there for parking in Luffield it. Just this part of the circuit here. No, goodness me. Serious Rushing, the worst thing about 99 was the game was the game. 97 was better. I think the worst ever F1 game is, and if anyone's who ever had the appalling luck to ever play it, the 98 game. My word, that is. I think that out of all the Formula 1 games, I could play all of them, but 98 is just unplayable. I think it was really ridiculous. That. Really was indeed. I think there was two games of 99. There was the official game, and then there was like Formula 1 World Grand Prix or something like that, wasn't it? And that game was quite hard to drive as well, but they had a cheat where for some reason you could put auto drive on, which was really odd then for a Formula 1 game. But I must admit, I had to put auto drive on a lot because I kept going backwards. So just watching Silver then, who's coming, it was on the formation lap as well then. So the race is about to get underway then. So this is a 26 lap Grand Prix. We had the privilege of seeing the Aston Martin safety car for the first time last night. We've seen it twice. Is it going to be a third time a charm here tonight then? Of course, Gurman is not going to be happy for me to say that. Of course, as the admins do not want the safety car, do they? Iron Knight is not wanting to get going too quickly around here, does he? I wonder if this is gamesmanship then for Iron Knight then. I think Iron Knight was very impressive around here as well on his debut last season, wasn't he? As he comes out the final turn down for the Haas car, as he is just holding at the pack side then, as we're just watching Silver. Lovely shot here, but look at that, and you can see how hard the rain is falling down. Look at those droplets there bouncing on the concrete there, on the track. My word there. Styles lining up 17th on the grid then. Sir Dave alongside him. Oh, this is going to be very fruitful indeed then. So Starburst pole position then, and this is the second pole position in 4 races then. So fantastic stuff there for Starburst then. We have now got the lights and they have gone off already. Now we're going for the silver for the British Grand Prix, and here we go then, and it is. Well, it's not go yet, is it? As I was really getting into the flow of things there, but it's not go yet then, as we've got a bit of a delay on the start line here. Serious Rush, let me read out this comment a bit quick whilst we're waiting for the revs to go on then. Serious Rush was saying then EA did one in 2000 as well, I think. Yeah, I think it was F1, wasn't it? Oh, the revs are on then, we'll get back to that in a minute then. It's going to be, here we go then for the British Grand Prix. Yellow flag then at the back. It's, oh, there's contact. One of the Williams is having cars and gone then, and I think the Alfa Romeo's gone to the back of him, and it's all shenanigans at the back there, and with Buckass and Picasso there, but Hammer Thomas leading going into turn 1 there. Hammer Thomas had a fantastic start then here in the British Grand Prix, and now Aston Martin Jinner gone round the inside there, but he's touched Boff there. He has touched Lucky Boff, and he's spun around and he's dropping down the back of the field then, as they're gingerly trying to get around the circuit then, as Silva's well off and he's damaged the car already. It's a virtual safety car. Hammer Thomas had the perfect start here in the British Grand Prix tonight, has this. The rain is falling down here. Silva unfortunately right at the back of the field then, so Hammer Thomas got away perfectly. And remember, Starburst has now also forced his way in the championship battle as well, so this is important in terms of the battle. Who's going to be the second ever Cobalt World Champion? Of course, and that is where the Cobalt journey began a season ago, wasn't it there? Oh my goodness me. Oof, gosh, so the virtual safety car, you have to adhere to the delta here, don't you? You cannot go over the delta, otherwise you'll get a drive-through penalty. And now we're back racing. 7 position stalls up there. My goodness me. Fantastic. Oh, he's just dropped down one there. As Dukanku's now got past him as well. As they're going through Cop's Corner for the first time then. On board once again with Starburst, and Starburst all over the back there. The race leader then, which is Hammer Time. And Hammer Time, of course, then wants to keep this position there. Crusty T has dropped down as Jinner's trying to get himself back up the order then after having a spin earlier on then. We've got a Ferrari dropping down. Cressida T is actually dropping down the order, and he's had some issues then, going down the hammer straight for the first time there. As look at that, it's already 1.2 seconds gap between ZGS and Lucky Bob, but ZGS having an absolutely incredible qualifying performance, didn't they? Back earlier on then, a fantastic with the Silva there, who's just recovering back into the pit lane, as Starburst there has gone from attack to defence there, but it looks like as Lucky Bob is running underneath the gearbox there. Jinner is flying through the field. He's gone up 2 positions there in a matter of space, a couple of quarters there. He's up the inside of Styles, and Styles dropping down to that 12th position there. Jinner there, oh goodness me, almost a half spin there, going through the complete lap 1 here in the British Grand Prix then, as my tower is a bit wonky there, isn't it? As we've got some people there 2 minutes behind each other, which is not the case at all, is it there? And Silver's not a lap down either then. Silver's just trying to recover back to the pits then. And we're on board now with Iron Knight is up 5 positions as well. Liam D up 6 positions as well. Brilliant 17th there. I thought it was thunder and lightning there. Goodness me, I was getting very concerned there. My word there. So Silver's got a 5-second penalty for speed in the pit lane, so he's going to be kicking himself so just watching the battle of the front two then, now battling it out then, duking it out then for the Grand Prix lead then here in the British Grand Prix in absolutely appalling conditions out there. Yellow flag is As Lucky Boff is off the circuit there, left field there. Oh no! And Lucky Boff trying to get back on the circuit there. He's one of the top three, and unfortunately he's facing the wrong way. And there's Sir Dave just gingerly just getting around in there. Goodness me! Silver coming out of the pits as well. Then back to the front then, and here they are then. So it's Hammer Time who leads that at the moment. But it's Starburst who is matching him stride for stride, wheel track for wheel track. Then lovely stuff indeed. There's Z-Jets who's done a fantastic performance. We got a Williams. It's an Alpine car. It's Liam D who's had a fantastic start, but it's all gone peak tongue for Liam D. He's down in 14th position there. And the Alpine car. Silver just coming on the pits now then. Look how long that pit lane is there. He's almost a lap down there. My word there. Absolutely incredible stuff there. Howard Tom now coming out to complete a lap of 2 of this Grand Prix. Yellow flags there. Again, it's the Haas car. Lucky Boff then who's struggling there. That's twice now he has spun on this lap there for Lucky Boff. He's had major issues in the Haas car. Liam D who's also dropped down the order as well. Christian T has just got past Liam D. Liam D got damage. He's got major damage on the Alpine car. And Liam D is going to have to come into the pits. Unfortunately, that is a major blow indeed. Then so he's in the pits. There's also a car in front of us, a Scooby Shoo in the pits. He's got a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. Scooby Shoo as the rain is really starting to set in now, isn't it? We have got Hammer Time. Hammer Time just cannot get away from Starburst at the moment. No DRS in these rain conditions, though, of course. As of course it's unsafe, isn't it? And now Craig R, who is very much there on the back foot. And here comes a boot to the light. Then pit lane drama. Scooby Shoo and Liam D are both in the pits. And Booty is now going to have to be defensive here because it's Iron Knight who's on the outside. They're going into it's not Woodco, is it? Brooklands. But Craig R is still kept in position there. Goodness me, it's getting very tight around left field as well. I'm loving this. Great stuff indeed then. Greg driving it all around the field so far. Yellow flag in free as we got Mercedes. Oh gosh, there's a Buckass and Lucky Boff is off again. And unfortunately for Lucky Boff, but my word there is I was going through cops together. Then oh my word, there Booty's got a bit wide there, and that means that Iron Knight look left. There he is. I'm sorry, look for Archer Taylor. They're going through side by side. Goodness me, someone's gonna have to yield then. Iron Knight has had to yield there. My word, then that was getting very precarious at this stage of the Grand Prix as well. This is not where you can win the race, but you can certainly lose it in the opening couple of laps here. And you have to be very careful around these conditions. And now Iron Knight that is flying, is he? And the Haas car doing a great job there. Unfortunately, his teammate Lucky Boff has also got a 3-second penalty as well. It's on the outside of Booty Delight. He goes through, but Booty's trying to come back at him there. Oh goodness me, that was getting very close there between Iron Knight and Booty as we go into Vale as well. And Starburst has got past Hammer Time there. Unbeknownst to me, I have been waffling away and Buckass had submission as well. And so is Lucky Boff there as he's scampering onto the grass there. But it's Starburst who leads the Grand Prix. CGS is struggling here at this moment in time. Styles has got past as well and up into 9th finished there. As Whitty is right around the wrong way. And Sir Dave there, that was Picasso. And Whitty is right around the wrong way. That must have been some momentum there because he was going backwards down the pitch as well. Winnie's trying to recover here, and it's been a very dramatic opening stage of the Grand Prix as well. As Lucky Boff is now lost out to Scooby Shoo. Lucky Boff is struggling in these conditions there. As Starburst leads the Grand Prix, is now 2 seconds in front. I was going to say Hammer Time was checked out there, but unbeknownst to me, Lucky Boff has also got a 5-second penalty. Unbeknownst to me, though, is Lucky Boff is out of the race, unfortunately. Unbeknownst to me, for a top of the charm. Unbeknownst to me, Starburst takes the lead of the British Grand Prix. Safety car has been deployed, and why is that? It's Winnie. Oh, Winnie's lost the whole of the wing section there in the Red Bull. And yes, so Winnie there is having issues there on the Hamilton straight, and now he's lost the whole of the wing section there. He's got to come back in the pits, isn't he? So this is good news there for Silver, isn't it? Unfortunately, not good news for Starburst because he was 2.5 seconds in front of Hammer Time. He's having a great start to this opening start to this Grand Prix. My word, but. Serious Richard saying half must be on dry setups if it does matter, trust me there. So yes, and Finland that might be why we're having such an incredible start into the British Grand Prix. And Starburst is not coming in yet, but the rain has eased off slightly, hasn't it? Or is it me? Hammer Time is in the pits then. Hammer Time is in the pits. He got damaged there, Hammer Time, as he's the championship leader. He was running away with the season at the beginning of the race. I would say at the beginning of the season, he had 3 Grand Prix wins in a row there. He had 3 Grand Prix wins in a row. He's fantastic. It's eased off slightly, hasn't it? I think that is this going to be intermediate conditions now. Let's take a look then. As the Alpha Tire mechanics are primed and ready to go in the pit lane now. And there's those green mark tires. Now they're still the 4 wet wear tires, and he's got a nose cone problem. He has to change the nose cone, the Alpha Tire. So the championship leader is in major peril here, and he has dropped down he's dropped down the order then, but there's a big gap between Jinder and Sir Dave, but I think Sir Dave is going to get past, and so is Crusher T as well here. Picasso in the pits then, so Hammer Time's going to come out in 12th position, I would surmise that. Safety cars out, and we've got a lot of gap in very early on in this British Grand Prix. The rain is eased off, I think then, so I think that we could be on intermediate tires in the not too distant future. As into the pits there comes Winnie as well. So into the pits there comes Picasso, and on his marks, inch perfect there, of course. It has to be, everything in Formula 1 has to be inch perfect, doesn't it? And now he's up and on the nose because as well, car 21 and Picasso is coming out of the pits now for the Williams for the Williams Mercedes team. Into the pits there also comes the Red Bull Honda team. There's a McLaren in the background now. Scooby Stew coming in the pits as well. Nose cone change there for the Red Bull team there. One of the best they're one of the best mechanics in the world, aren't they? It's into the pits also comes Silver as well. Scooby Stew is on the intermediate tires here then, so I hope you listen to the stream and follow my voice, because that is the worst thing you could do. But Scooby Stew there, of course he won't be, he's an expert in Grand Prix racing, isn't he? He knows exactly what he's doing. He has just now come on to the intermediate tires, the shallower groove tires, and it to disperse not as much gallons of water or litres of water or anything like that into the pits, and also intermediate tires for the Ferrari team as well. So yes, as the rain has got lighter there, this could be an incredible strategical decision here from Scooby Stew. Magnificent. As Silver also on intermediate tires as well. The next 16 cars are on the wet tires, of course. Bad luck, Boff. A long way to go. Great pace in the dryer, buddy. As Boff said, yeah, forgot to put on the wet setup there. Into the pits there comes ZGS. ZGS said is stand up and see this Mercedes car. He's having a magnificent performance here tonight. Really good stuff indeed. Dave is off the circuit there, and I think Crusher T and Sir Dave has come to blows somewhere, and I'm wondering if Crusher T was coming into the pits there, but Sir Dave has been punted off the circuit, or has he? Or has Crusher T then just, I'm not sure what's happened there, but yeah, maybe I'm just surmising now. Everyone's into the pits here. So yes, I think that some drivers come to the pits there and thrown on the intermediate tires. Perhaps Booty is on the intermediate tires. ZGS is on the wet tires there. ZGS, I think, has made a strategy call error here. Crusher T and Buckhat's got a 5-second penalty for speed in the pit lanes. Right, Crusher T is also got, is just serving that 5-second penalty as well. He's on the intermediate tires. Buckhat's in the pits as well. As so we've got half the drivers on the intermediate tires. Half the drivers on the, well, not even half the drivers. We've got about a quarter drivers on the intermediate tires. The other drivers are on the wet tires at the moment. Into the pits, that comes Liam D. That is on the intermediate tires as well. And so yes, so I think that the rain has got lighter, hasn't it? Winnie has stayed out on the wet tires. And Scooby Stew, I think, has called it to absolute perfection, but he's too far back there to really maximise this strategy call here. But we'll fight. But goodness me, we'll see what happened there with. We'll see what happened there with Sir Dave and Crusher T. But goodness me, it's on a straight there. Now, the only difference about that straight is when they come into the pits. I'm wondering if Crusher T wants to get in the pits there, and Sir Dave might have been in the wrong place at the wrong time there. That Ford Puma looks nice in green now, as Sebastian was saying. I must admit, the action was going on, and I completely forgot about the Aston Martin race safety car. Look at it, it's absolutely beautiful, isn't it? My word, absolutely lovely stuff indeed. Well, hopefully it's the last time we see the Aston Martin cars. Much as I love the Aston Martin safety car, we've also got an Aston Martin plus an Aston Martin F1 car in the Gagler cars at the moment. Fantastic, isn't it? The rain is definitely lighter, isn't it? So the first driver on the intermediate tyres actually booted the light. And then we've got Crusher T on the intermediate tyres as well. Scuba Stew, Liam D, Buckass and Silver all on the intermediate tyres. Everyone else is still on the wet tyres. Ayrton saying, Sean, don't look at the Liverpool score. Oh no. Luckily my score does. I think my scores is actually turned off. I've done it in advance tonight then, because it gets in the way of the comments, and I struggle to keep up when I see the score as well. I have a feeling it's not good news, is it there? But that's the problems of being Liverpool fan, is that they kind of just got to take it as it comes, really, don't you? Into the pits, there comes Craig R. So Craig R, I think, might also be good on the intermediate tyres here. So is Iron Knight as well. So the longer the safety car comes out, I think it is advancing people then who is staying up there, who's advancing people then who is thinking about going on the intermediate tyres. Then. So we've got Mercedes mechanics out in the pits again then. We have got... Boots now in the 7th position there. We got Haas mechanics, we've got Aston Martin mechanics out there as well, so we've got a lot of action here in the pit lane, and yes, they're all on the intermediate tyres now then. I wonder if CGS then Yeah, he's had to come in twice, ZGS. What a shame now for ZGS. That is absolutely such a shame now for ZGS, because he was on the perfect race so far, and unfortunately a strategical error there for the Mercedes team has really cost them majorly. Buckhurst down in 70th position now, ZGS down in 15th position now. Everyone is down in the intermediate tires apart from Winnie in 9th position, apart from Sir Dave in 6th position. Hammer Timing is now back up in the 5th position. He's got fresh wet tires. Styles is in 4th position. Fantastic stuff for Styles. Dukanko up in the 3rd. Smith Almighty 2nd. Starburst leads on wet tires. So this is going to get very interesting indeed. We've got some overtaking in the back for some unknown reason. Of course, as the safety car's out, no overtaking. And just for a second, don't look at the Coronation Street. Poor Norris said, I'm not sure if it's Lando Norris or if Norris who runs the post office. Is it? Did he used to run the post office? I'm not too sure. All I remember is Roy's Rolls. Goodness me, I'd love to have gone to that cafe. Right, hopefully a safety car be in at the end of this lap, then we can be back racing once again there. As Bert Mylander in the beautiful Aston Martin safety car. We are just waiting for him to peel off. We've got the Crocodile now formed right up behind the safety car, and we'll be back racing in just a jiffy as well. We're on lap 8. We've had a lot of laps under the safety car. Quite a, I've got to say, I think we've had about 3, haven't we, or 4? My word, that it feels like a long time. We've also had a lot of pit stops as well. So Booty is the highest driver, along with Crusher T on the intermediate tyres then. If they are going to be sitting pretty, aren't they? If the rain doesn't get harder, or if they can live with these wet weather conditions as well. So I think it's still on the borderline, isn't it, for the full wets and the full wets and the intermediate tyres. And there is still a lot of water on that circuit there, because the wet tyres is good for dispersing the standing water, isn't it? But I would say it's very close to the intermediate tyres. Thank goodness gracious me. Just on board then. Percy said Brooks has got no Wi-Fi again. What a shame now for Percy. What a shame now for Brooksy. Because I think it's a shame for Percy as well, because he's a very good engineer, isn't he? So his man there, unfortunately, not able to take part in the British Grand Prix, which is also a shame for us as well, because Brooksy's got his first Grand Prix win. And Starburst in the pits, and so Starburst knows that this is a mistake then. And yes, they're all in the pits, and we're back at green here. And Dukanko has stayed out. Sir Davis got a 5-second penalty for speed in the pit, and he was a bit overzealous there going to the pit. Sir Davis for back racing. Smith Almighty leads out second position. Dukanko. Those are the drivers that have decided not to come in the pits. And so yes, the drivers that came in the pits on the safety car is absolutely brilliant stuff indeed. That Booty is up into a very solid third position now, isn't he? As Crusher T has gone very wide there. That's a lot of understeer on that Ferrari. Goodness me. And look at that. That's a Haas car. That's a Haas and Jinner there. And Iron Knight and Jinner getting very cozy there, going into farm in the loop here. And Liam D there, who is now up in his 7th position as well. Crusher T is struggling, isn't he? Scooby Stew's now up the order. We got Mercedes who's off in the background now. I think it's Buckhurst who's had some issues there, unfortunately, in the Mercedes. And look at this. That is Liam D is really struggling down the back straight as the rain has gone very light indeed. Then look at this, out the inside goes Craig, and look, oh gosh, this free abreast there. Oh my word, that is getting very precarious. How did they keep it going? My word, that's fantastic racing, fantastic car control. And look at Jenner, my goodness me, fantastic. Yellow flag. So we've got a yellow flag. It's one of the Williams cars off as Craig, who's off the circuit, and Picasso's got a 3-second penalty. Craig off the circuit, and Jenner up in the 7th position. Picasso up in the 8th, and Iron Knight is in 9th position as well. Then as the rain is eased off, ZGS has just got on the inside through Cops Corner. Fantastic maneuver there. Jenner there. Who is that? That's Crusher T. Crusher T is struggling. Oh, contact there is Crusher T trying to come back on the circuit there. And then Booty has got past Dukanko, moving on to second position there. As we now got, oh my gosh, that is, oh, and look, Jenner and Picasso's off the circuit there. And Crusher T is now coming back onto the circuit. So I don't know who's off and who's on. But Iron Knight then is now on the racing lights. He flicks it in to turn into Stone Corner as well. Where's Crusher T? He's on the inside, then into the pits goes Smithy Almighty. Booty the lights leads the British Grand Prix. As we go into Vale as well. We got more drivers in the pits, and Booty the lights having a lovely time out there at the moment. Oh, Jinner's not. No, Jinner's not. Jinner is doing a bit of rally cross there as I've gone to the wrong car. I've lent on my controller. Iron Knight is now in full position there. Look there, they're just oh my gosh, that's a Ferrari. Have a look as well. Crusher T then struggling at this stage. Proceeds that Craig R has got a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pits as well. Goodness gracious me. Action galore. Oh my word. It's on for the silver. Oh, it's a great for Jim's go up the inside of silver then. I thought it was going to be a daylight in the door short there, but my word, why? But I know exactly what the driver's doing then. It just does feel like they always go, they're going to go to the back of each other, don't they? Because they brake so late, don't they? It's incredible how they know where their braking points are, even in these wet weather conditions. Magnificent stuff. stuff indeed there. Booty still leads by 3.5 seconds. Magnificent driving there from Booty. Of course, there he's never won a Grand Prix in Cobalt. And also remember, oh no, Jinner's off the circuit there, and he's off again there. Oh dear, there is Jinner had a couple of issues there so far this race. Also remember, Booty has not got much experience, has he, in terms of leading a Grand Prix before. Let's see how he does so on lap 9 out of 30 out of 26 here in the British Grand Prix, as Whitty is now right underneath the gearbox, and Sir Davis in 16th position above there, as they're just now on board with Crusher T, and right behind his teammate. Crusher T was falling like a stone when the safety car came in. He's got a lot of understeer on that Ferrari. That Ferrari is not very pointy at the front there, and I think that yellow flag is we got some Williams off in the background now. It's Craig R, who's recovering down the Wellington Straight, but unfortunately they're having some gremlins or two. On board once again then with Crusher T, and on perspirating Booty at the fast up the race. Goodness me, he's going to get a nosebleedy so far. Fantastic stuff for Booty. Major stuff indeed. Picasso set the fast up the race as well. He's in third position. Picasso's been very unlucky in his LR career so far, hasn't he? Goodness me, wouldn't it be great to get for Picasso to get a podium here tonight? And what Scooby Stew doing a great job in second position, and Booty lightly in the Grand Prix. And hats off to all three of those drivers. They called the intermediate decision very nicely indeed. And Scooby Stew, I think, is the first driver. Look at that lock up there from Crusher T. I thought he was going to go off there. Not into Northamptonshire, but I don't know. Well, oh my gosh, there is Scooby Stew and Picasso going side by side down the Wellington Straight here. Picasso is down for the second position. He's the quickest driver in these conditions so far. Scooby Stew, I think, is strong at the moment, but Scooby Stew did call the conditions absolute to perfection, didn't he? Fantastic stuff. Iron Knight there into left field. Then Scooby Stew is getting a bit twitchy on the old rear end now, and Iron Knight is now going on the ascendancy as well. Look at it, he's right underneath the gearbox of the McLaren and going in to Cobb's corner. Not quite the moment now, as Scooby Stew then should be able to get that position there, but I thought Iron Knight might have got a lovely run there out of Cobb's corner, but no dice at the moment now. So we've got a bit of a topsy-turvy grid so far at the moment now. Let's see how this one plays out then. We're on lap 10 out of 16. Oh, and Iron Knight there has just gone to the back of Scooby Stew in the back of Scooby Stew as he damaged the end plate there. That was I think he might have got away with that as he braked quite much. He braked almost just in the nick of time. Now, goodness me, I've just turned off the stream. That's not good. Just now, Liam D is just recovered now. He has gone off. I think he's gone off quite a long way down the straight now. I wonder if he's gone off in the just at the exit chapel there. Anyway, but hopefully Liam D is still in the points, so that is the main thing, isn't it? As we're on at lap 11 of the Grand Prix as well, and this is very tough condition there, isn't it? Because I think it's borderline intermediate tarts, isn't it? Because look at the shine coming off of the track there. As look, it's very wet in turn one. As Scooby Stew almost had a swapper on, didn't he? Iron Knight, look at him locking up the inside front tyre there, and ZJS there also wants a piece of this action as well. My word there, it's a very difficult condition there, isn't it? There's a lot of standing water out there still, but my goodness me, the Cobalt drivers are making it work to absolute perfection. This is skill at the utmost here. I'm absolutely loving it here tonight. Fantastic stuff indeed. I found an all-sir, and that's not good. And just watch it going down into Brooklands as well. As we got Buckass, who's lost position as Starbus. Of course, he's 2 points away from a point away from Hammer Time and leading the World Championship then. So it's a crucial part of the season. And of course, Aston Martin leading the Constructors Championship as well. And Jinner is now making his way back over the field as well. Jinner's got some pace in these wet conditions there. He just needs to keep it pointed in the right direction, and the job should be a good one. Hammer Time is now all over the back of Buckass. He's not anymore. He is now in front of Buckass and up into 11th position. Good something there for Hammer Time. Back with Iron Knight then, and here is Iron Knight, and the rain doesn't look like he's cleared off at the moment, and I don't think it's going to get wetter either at the moment then. So at the moment it's status quo. We'll soon find out if we need to change tyres again then. We'll keep an eye on the weather then, as just looks it's meant to be raining throughout all the race then. Whether it does or not then remains to be seen. Then Iron Knight then is past Scooby Stew. He is past Scooby Stew then. Scooby Stew unfortunately is now dropping down the order. He's strong in these conditions. ZGS is having a fantastic race tonight, isn't he? This is magnificent stuff. He's had a great qualifying, and now he's having a superlative Grand Prix as well. This is magnificent stuff there from ZGS. Really well done indeed. Iron Knight's now in the third position there. And now let's see what he can do from here on in. And Iron Knight does have pace, and Scooby Stew at the moment they're struggling, isn't he, out there? But there's still a long way to go then, and we haven't got to the halfway distance yet. Goodness gracious me then. It's been an action-packed opening couple of laps here. Haven't touched at the fast lap race, and he is currently 11th on the 11th of the field at the moment there. Picasso's made a mistake somewhere because Booty has found a half a second in the first sector alone there. So Picasso is quick, but I think similar to Jinner, he's quick there, but making a bit of mistakes there. If he could just lower the percentage down slightly and just keep up the pace there, he should have the pace there to catch him past Booty. But of course, it's all about the mind management as well in this Grand Prix, isn't it? On these challenging conditions, it's not just about driving the car; it's also about keeping yourself cool as well. And here's Jinner then, and Jinner there has also found his grip on this race as well, as he's been spinning like a Beyblade, but now he's back on the ascendancy. He is now over the sixth position now. Goodness me, there's contact between Silva and Jinner, and Silva had to back out of that, and Jinner is over the sixth position. Great stuff indeed. Scooby Doo's got a 3-second penalty there for unfortunately gaining time on somewhere on the circuit. Watching Smithfield Mighty Monair, who's in at 14th position there, right behind Stars. Down a great race so far. Stars is. He's down in 13th position there, but Stars is still in the Grand Prix, doing a great job indeed there for the Red Bull. And really, I think that it could be a day there for Stars to get some points there for the Red Bull team. But Smithfield Mighty really wants to put a dampener on things, literally and figuratively. Alr Knight is now the quickest driver on the circuit there. Smithy there very much close to the back of Stars there, but no cigar at this moment. And Smithy in a 14th position there. Stars in 13th position there. This is the moment. There's no points on the no points for these drivers at the moment. However, remember, of course, so that there's a long way to go in this race. From now at half distance here in the British Grand Prix. Goodness me, as Sir Smasher said, that if Booty wins, we're going to have a party. Goodness me, we are definitely on a party. We're going to get wild, haven't we, here in Silverstone if there is a party, and because we don't need to, ALR doesn't need to be back on air until Sunday. So yes, we can. So as long as they had a 3-day hangover, we're going to have a major party indeed. Then, but of course, I would also have a party if Picasso won as well, because Picasso has so much rotten luck this season, and maybe we're going to have an even bigger party if ZGS or Scooby Stew can get on the podium as well. Then, so there are some cracking drives out there so far in terms of the strategical element of this Grand Prix. ZGS in terms of strategical element, and perhaps not as favourable as the safety car, but in terms of this pace around here, it's been absolutely magnificent. Stars are going on the inside of Buckass here. Buckass is struggling. It's the yellow flag in one, then Craigar is out of the Grand Prix, and that is on the far end line of the circuit. That's not going to be a safety car. Just taking a look then. I don't think so at the moment. So safety car has not come out just yet, has it? So we might be all right then, which is good news for the top three, isn't it? Is that they don't want a safety car in. So they should. The British Marshals, the best marshals in the world, aren't they? So they are going to be able to clear the car, Craigar, and they will get going again then. So yes, only 2 retirements in these absolutely appalling conditions out there. Fantastic stuff indeed there. Buckass has found a lot of time now coming out of Stoke Corner, but I think Smithy is going to be... Oh, Buckass! He's had a look on the inside there, and goodness me, that door is always going to close there. And now Smithy up into 13th position now. Hammer Time then is now all over the back of Starburst, who's all over the back of Crusher T as well. Crusher T, unfortunately, at this stage of... Where is he? Oh, Crusher T is right off the circuit. Goodness me, he's dropped down the order. That is going to be a pinch point, and Hammer Time's also through as well. Moves up into 9th position. Crusher T dropping down then. Unfortunately, yes, we got yellow flags also in sector 1 now, but I think it might be, I'm not sure who it was there, but it's just for a minute then, so we'll carry on for the minute. So Starburst has dropped down into 17th position now. No, he's still in front of us then, so I'm not sure what's happening there, but Starburst is ghosting there, and now it's not good, is it, there for Starburst? Craigar has left possession there. He's going to be barely disappointed with that, isn't he? After he's had a very good qualifying there, but unfortunately the race didn't go too well, did it? Booty leads with Picasso in 2nd position, Alr Knight in 3rd position at the moment, and that is the top 3 at the Grand Prix at the moment now, looking very solid indeed. Then they're now they're almost 7 seconds over the top 3, almost 7 seconds in front of Scooby Stew. Alr Knight is the quickest out of the top 3 at the moment now, so they're all condensing into each other, haven't they? Whether Picasso can get to Booty before Alr Knight gets to him, that remains to be seen. I think Alr Knight is quicker, is going to get to Picasso quicker than Picasso gets to Booty then, and that might be easier for Alr Knight then to pick off. ZJ's got a penalty there to pick off his two rivals here tonight. And just now, oh gosh, that car looks like it's ghosting, but I don't think it is. And oh gosh, and now a starburst there. It was ghosting. He's been spun around there, and he's dropped down the order. Liam Diaz in the pits there. So Liam Diaz in the pits there. So I'm wondering if he was the cause of the yellow flag then, unfortunately. And if that is the case, then has he got damaged as well? That's going to be hurtful now, isn't it, for Liam Diaz? Everyone else is pitted or be under the safety car. Well, most of them pitted under the safety car, didn't they? We had a couple of stragglers who pitted after the safety car. Stars is now into a very solid 10th position. Good stuff indeed there for Stars. Really well done. Picasso's had a mega lap, hasn't he? That last lap, he's now down to 1.5 seconds. We have got Silver's off the circuit, and the Ferrari, he's dropped down behind his teammates. He's trying to get back on the circuit, and he has got back on then. Starburst has just gone in front of him at the moment there, and Stars is also just passed him as well. Here's Smithy Almighty, who's dropped off the back of Stars, and so Stars, oh my gosh, they're on board now with ZJ. Said, look at that, and Jinner just passed him. Now that is just the pace of Jinner at the moment there. He's breezed on the outside. Sir Dave's got a 3-second penalty down in 14th position there. That may come back to haunt Sir Dave later on this session as well. Just now watching Smithy Almighty is all over the back of Stars. Stars has just recovered from a spin, hasn't he? As going into cops there, has Bucci ever led a race then? I'm sure he led a race. Didn't he lead the race in the French Grand Prix where A was on the complete wrong tyres? I think he was on the dry tyres where everyone else was on the wet tyres. But this is the first time he has led the race led the race, I would say. Would I say properly? Is that a bit of, I think that's a bit of the wrong word, really, isn't it? Buckas has just got past, Ducanco has just got past Buckas there. He led the race in France, but he was on the complete wrong strategy there. So this is the first time, he's the first time seeing this race bona fide. Oh gosh, there's a Buckas there. It's on the same issue that Alonso had there back in 2012, I think, the qualifying session, wasn't it? Potentially, but I think Alonso somehow kept out of the wall incredibly like I think that was also a pole position as well for the Ferrari team. Styles then, who is now dropping back in, and Picasso is now almost within a second as we're on lap 16 then, as that Ferrari Stars has gone off the circuit, then Smith Almighty's going to go on the inside into turn one there. He has got on the inside. Ducanco's in the pits so Ducanco is, I'm not sure, but is that a strategical gamble here for Ducanco? I don't think it is, because unless they want fresh tyres there, as Sir Davis just got him into 12 position. Great manoeuvre there from Sir Davis. We only caught the end of that, but great 70 there. He's over to 12 position. Sir Davis, he's found those tyres now, and away he goes. Sir Dave flying at this moment in time then. Now we're going to watch the battle then. Here he is, Budalite then, who's leading the Grand Prix, doing a great job at the moment. Fantastic stuff indeed then, as he is now coming down at the back straight. Booty leads then from Picasso in second position there. There's Iron Knight. I wonder if he's cooked his tyres slightly there, because Iron Knight is dropping back slightly. We've got a lot of penalties coming into the race control now as well, but I think Iron Knight may have cooked his tyres. He's now 2.9 seconds away, unless Picasso is really on the ascendancy here, and he is indeed. Is he 10 laps to go in the British Grand Prix? Picasso, I don't think he's ever been on the podium as he in ALR. Well, he's almost on the back of Booty. He is on the back of Booty. There's Iron Knight in the background as well, as here is the battle for the lead in the British Grand Prix. There's Booty, there's Picasso. Where's Iron Knight? There he is. But he's just a bit further back. He's dropped to 3.4 seconds. And Iron Knight, has he got problems there? There he is in the background there. He's struggling for pace at this stage of proceedings, isn't he, compared to Picasso and Booty. He is now down to the gap is 3.5 seconds between himself and Picasso. We're on board with Picasso, who is now very much there, as we got a McLaren. A Smithy Almighty has spun it out of the final quarter there. Smithy was in the points, and he's now back out of the points there. He's recovering back onto the circuit. Smithy's had a good season so far, but unfortunately, had a bit of a nightmare Grand Prix. Jinner's got a penalty. Hammer Time's moved himself back up to 7th position. Hammer Time, who I haven't spoken much about Hammer Time, but he's of course I think he's is he in front of Starburst? I think he is, isn't he? As Starburst is a position behind him. I think Starburst is in 8th position, but his transponder or something like that is gone completely AWOL. On board Picasso at the moment then, and now Picasso is all over the back of Booty, all over the back of Booty's Booty here, as we're going down at the going down the hanger straight as well. Look at this, Picasso half a second. He hasn't got DRS, of course. Hammer Time is also gaining as well. Burkas has lost out to Liam D as well, because I think that there's yellow flag there in turn one, and the straight is not long enough, is it? What about the Hamilton straight going into turn one there? I don't think, as Picasso's got a 3-second penalty, that is going to be music to Booty's ears, isn't it? Oh my my goodness gracious me then. Hammer time then is on the back straight. He's going to get past ZJS. ZJS on a fantastic race there. He really is indeed. He was my start qualified. Is he my start of race then? So far, so good then for ZJS. And goodness me, but that door is always going to close, isn't it? As Hammer time is all over the back end. Hammer time, the championship leader. ZJS said, is he going to defend then? He's not defending too hard. ZJS said this could be some major points for himself and the Mercedes team here tonight, who are down in down in the bottom of the constructors pile at the moment, so they don't want to stay there for too long. Styles has got past Crusher T. Styles has done a great drive on there. He's now up into a position. Fantastic performance there from Styles. Really well done indeed there. Styles and ZGS are doing a great job. Picasso is now all on the back of Booty. Booty is harvested his lead, going down into Brooklyn as well. This is the battle for the lead in the British Grand Prix. Crusher T in the pits then. Drivers K in the pits then of Dukanku is now on fresh tires. Same with Liam D as well. No one else has come to the pits just yet. Yellow flag is one of the Alpine cars as well for the circuit. That's Liam D. He has gone off in a big way in Chapel, as we've just seen Dukanku getting past as well. And look at this, Picasso. I'm going to look down to Cobb's corner there. We've got medium tires now for the Crusher T as well, as this is now starting to really starting to spice up. I don't think Crusher T is enjoying these wet weather conditions, I don't think those intermediate tires are going to enjoy, the medium tires are going to enjoy these wet weather conditions either. So I'm not sure the way intermediate the medium tire is going to be the way to go. Surge pressure is just now a draw. He's alongside. It's Picasso having a look on the outside into Stowe. Bucci defending, noticing of course. Oh goodness me, there it is. He's giving him a shove at the Bucci as well. Picasso, he's going to go for the inside into Vale. He takes the lead, or does he? Bucci is not having any of it then, as they're fighting. Keep it clean now. And he's on the outside, and he takes the lead of the British Grand Prix. I think it was off the circle then, but as long as the gate doesn't ask for him to give it back, then he should be all fine and dandy. I think he is all fine and dandy. So Picasso leads the Grand Prix. Booty is down in second position. Serious Merchant says Booty's just got to say Picasso now, as that is 6 seconds. He thinks that Hammer time is set the fast of the race, and it is 6 seconds there. So Booty is still on course there for potential second position here then. So no, it's not all doom and gloom yet then, is it? But there might be some more gloom coming up the hills then, and as it's in terms of Iron Knight then, as Crusher T is dropping down the order. Yeah, the dry tires it's way too early for the dry tires, but it has stopped raining now. It has stopped raining here in Silverstone. My goodness gracious me! There is going to be more twists and turns in this Grand Prix to come. Yeah, as Gio was telling me, I should really not look at the Liverpool score then, so I'm not going to look at the Liverpool score then. So yes, I'm not going to look at the Liverpool score then, because I think it might depress me then. But what isn't depressing me is this race so far. This is magnificent stuff indeed. Search saying, "Go on, Booty lad." He is 8/10 second away the money. He just needs to stay within 6 seconds of Picasso and to stay in front of him. But Iron Knight has got no penalties at all, has he? And he's on the ascendancy as well. Hammer time, who's had a bit of a difficult race then, but he's back up in the 6th position mode now, and will be a net 4th because he hasn't got any penalties, has he, at the moment? And of course, so he does have a 12-second deficit between himself and Iron Knight then on board then with Hammer time. And as it stands then, the Alpha Tag team will retake the lead in the Constructors World Championship as well for Cobalt. Keep an eye on the constructors as well as the drivers then, as they're coming down into a Stowe corner. And at the moment though, the straight was not long enough, was it? So how long until this track dries out? It's been a miserable day here in Silverstone, and we're coming to the end of the Grand Prix as well. So is it going to be worth going on to the tyres? That yellow flag Crusher T has gone around, and that is not good at all, is it, for Crusher T? As I think that he's being lapped there, so he might be just getting out of the way then. Hammer time then. I'm going to look at not a bit too far back, and look at how wet it is though in turn 1 there. The spray just really there's a lot of spray into turn 1. Liam D has got a 3-second penalty for his troubles down in 16th position now. I think he's the last car so far. Oh gosh, there, yellow flag in 1 then is one of the Alpine cars is well off the circuit there. Who is it? That it's not Sir David, it's Liam D, who is, and he's got a 10-second penalty there for covering back on the track there, so I'm not sure if that's fair or not, but never mind, coming down the Wellington straight as well. So it's been a bit gloomy out there, so I don't think it's now Silver, the both Ferraris there are going on to the dry tires. Remember, Kim Reuther was on the dry tires way too early earlier on in the laser, wouldn't they? Goodness me, got yellow flag set as the other Ferrari is spun it there. Crusher T and how many issues there at the gosh, sir, and hammer time there. The door is going to be shuttered all the time into Cobb's corner there. As goodness me, Jenner there slamming the door shut on hammer time's nose cone now onto his toes. Scooby-Doo are doing a good job there to keep back these two battling balls and brilliant stuff. But I think Scooby-Doo is going to have a sinking feeling now that the dry. I think that we're not too far away from the dry tyres. But as I'm trying to say, but I keep interrupting myself. That we've got more yellow flags. There's the other Ferrari. I think it's silver up the inside. That, oh goodness me, that's contact. That's major contact. They're in the wall. Oh my word there. And that is not good there. And oh gosh, there is Messi and Jenner and Scooby-Doo has had a cracking race there. And that is not good there. And unfortunately, oh my word there, Scooby-Doo coming into the pits there. And that was just a bit too messy. I'm not sure if the tires got tangled up or whatnot. So just watching ZJS and Starburst. I think it's in 7th position, 6th position, I'd say that. And it's I think it's just desync then, as the Serge March saying it's way too early for the dry tyres, and you can see that in turn 1 quite abundantly as well, can't you? Because it's just there's just so much spray in turn 1. You're just going to aquaplane off the road there. There's no groove tyres on slick tyres. They're smooth as my legs there, and they really are indeed. As because of course because there's no grooves on there on the slick tyres. What I'm trying to say then, and you can see as Scooby-Doo trying to come out of the pit lane, but it's so wet. It's still so wet there, isn't it? And Scooby-Doo coming onto the pit. And Smith Almighty almost going to the back of his teammate there. And you look at how wet it is in Sector 1. It is very wet indeed. Hammer time is now at 12 seconds away at Mondays. He's just coming to like Buck, as said, who just gets out of his way as well. And yeah, Scooby-Doo unfortunately dropping down the order yellow flag as one of the Ferraris is come a cropper as well, unfortunately. So yeah, so we got 3 drivers on the soft tyres at the moment, and it's too early for the dry tyres. And of course, the golden rules be on the right tyre at the right time, isn't it? And I think that if I was any one of the drivers in the points then, so surely you would just have to probably listen to Ginner's had an issue somewhere, or ZGS has really found some pace, and they were down there in that hanger straight then, and he's going for it, and he's on the outside of Ginner. He takes the position there. Oh, does he? Because Ginner, of course, is Ginner was involved in that collision there, and Ginner, oh goodness me, is it going to be a carbon copy? My goodness gracious me then. I thought it was that, but Ginner's gone swooping back up the inside, but ZGS who I'm not sure if Ginner's got damage to his car. We've also got the other Aston Martin there, who's a bit of a ghost on my screen. I'm not sure what's happening on their screens, and flying past me. As you know, there is being a bit robust in his defending Sir Davis there, but in 9th position there. Good stuff indeed there for Sir Dave. So Sir Dave in the points as well. What about Stars? He's in 7th position there. Magnificent stuff indeed there for Star. And Starburst on the inside. I think this 8th position actually there, because I need to remember that Starburst is in the points at the moment, isn't he? On the outside that goes See Justin Bonova, Dyson Bona. Where's the I think the other Aston Martin, I think has spun it, hasn't he? Because he's just dropped back slightly. Ginner is really struggling, isn't he? I'm not sure. I think he has got damage there from his episode with Scooby-Doo. Is now out of the points. Unfortunately, he's down in 11th position, down in 12th position now. The gap at the front is now 3 seconds there, but Booty is still within the winning zone then. But so is Iron Knight as well. And Iron Knight that he'll love to win a Grand Prix as well. I think that'll be Iron Knight's first ever Grand Prix win. I think anyway. I feel that I'm wrong now. But let me lean forward and get up my own book. I would, but unfortunately my hands are so sweaty I can't click on the tab very well. Goodness gracious me! Yes, 3-second penalty for Buckass as well. I don't think Iron Knight's got any. No, he's got a pole position, but he hasn't got a Grand Prix win. He's also got a podium as well to the same place. He's never got a Grand Prix win. So Iron Knight and Booty like potentially get a first Grand Prix wins here tonight. And now then, look at this. The CGS is having a great battle, isn't he? But goodness me, it's getting a bit rude out there, isn't it? Oh my word, there's elbows out all over the show. And oh my word, and once again, and look at how dry the track is now. Oh, contact there. That's a major contact. Is that damage on the Mercedes? And I hope not, because they're having a great race. And look, here's the Red Bull of Styles. Styles is doing a brilliant job today. Oh my goodness me. And look, he's come out of nowhere. And where's the Starburst? Starburst just dropped right back now in the Aston Martin. I don't really know where he is, to be honest. But my word there, ZJS, look how wet it is still in turn 1 there. So it's still nowhere near. Styles on the inside. It's still nowhere near the dry tyres. Is it yellow flag? is a yellow flag in turn 1 there. Someone's come a cropper. Oh my gosh there. Picasso's now 3.5 seconds in front of Boo Delight, who's in second and third position. There is Iron Knight as well. We're on lap 23 out of 26. We've got 4 laps to go in the British Grand Prix. My golly gosh, and I'm getting a bit giddy over here. Wow. And there's so many great drives out there. Picasso is one of them. The other one is Booty. Iron Knight is great to see him back up there. Hammer Tom has done a fantastic job, and he's extended in the championship. And CJS, who's had a great race as well, but unfortunately he's been forced out wide. And Stars is having a magnificent drive as well. It's up into 6th position in the Red Bull. Oh my goodness me, this is absolutely amazing, absolutely fantastic stuff indeed. The only thing that Picasso could hope for now is if Booty and Iron Knight get penalties. Oh, we'll talk about that in a minute because he's on the outside. My goodness me. Oh my God, sir. Yellow flag in 2. Yellow flag in 2 is Jitters off the circuit there. Jitters off the circuit. Stars in 5th position now. Oh wow, absolutely incredible stuff. Jitter was having an absolutely great drive, and but unfortunately, there is it's unraveling a bit at the moment there. 3 laps to go. So I think what Picasso would probably like at the moment then is if Booty... DRS has been enabled then. Oh, now we got an extra spice now in this Grand Prix. As Yellow Flags is still out there for someone. It's one of the Alpine cars who's come a cropper there. I'm not sure who it is, but they've recovered quite nicely and back on the circuit. So so Jinner is the first driver to come to pits at Yellow Flag. Scuba Shoes out of the Grand Prix. We've got a 5-second penalty in for Buck Aston. We've got drivers all over the show here. As the Aston Martin, no, that's the Mercedes mechanics that are coming out of the pits now. So is it too early for the dry tires? Let's see what happens. Look at the muck on that Aston Martin wing there. Goodness gracious me. As we have got 5-second penalties then floating here, there and everywhere at the moment then. There's still a lot of water there in turn 1 though, isn't there? Oh, Booty's got a penalty there. Oh, goodness me. So it is now Iron Knight then, who is in the ascendancy. So Booty has now got the penalty there. He's going to be kicking himself. Jitter's come out the pits on the soft tyres. He is going to, let's see what he can do then. Has he got, is it dry enough for the slick tyres then? We're going to find out now then. Is anyone going to come into the pits? So they're going to start, and Booty is really harvesting, and Iron Knight takes second position. That is potentially the net lead of the Grand Prix as well. Sector, yellow flag in sector 1. The Aston Martin is off the circuit. And the top 3 are staying out there. Booty is now down in the 3rd position then, but he's still on a magnificent drive. But Iron Knight there potentially could be his first Grand Prix win of his career. He needs to keep within 4 seconds. I don't think Picasso would have been too thrilled to see that, because I think Booty was losing a bit of pace at this stage of proceedings. Oh my word, then, but Booty is still on course there for a great Grand Prix win as well. Stars on course for a fantastic Grand Prix win. So is ZJS as well. Great stuff indeed. On board Ducanco. He is on the intermediate tyres. Soft tyres there for Jinner. And Silver's on soft tyres as well. Stars in the pits. So Stars is coming to the pits. So he's going on the slick tyres with just 2 laps to go. Is it going to be worth it there? Is it going to be worth it? So just going into turn 1. Yeah, let's get the penalties up, shall we? I don't know what to get up actually, because we've got soft tyres as well. Let's get the penalties up for the minute. And those are the stakes of the penalty. Only one driver has no penalties, and that is R9. Potentially he could win the British Grand Prix as well. As Ducanco, who is still keeping up with Jinner at the moment, isn't he? Stars, I think, has just gone onto the soft tyres, and hasn't he? That full couple of laps at the end of this Grand Prix. It's still quite wet out there, and Jinner is not making up as much time as he would need, I think, on the slick tyres there. And he's also off the circuit as well. Jinner is there, comes back in. Ducanco's also coming in the pits as well. Ooh, my word. Picasso leads that. R9 in second position. Booty in 3rd position there. Booty DRS. So Booty has got DRS then, of course. Yellow flag in 1 then, as I'm getting very nervous. And look at this. And Sir Davis, Stars has had some issues. No, Stars has had some issues. Sir Davis up into 7th. Winnie is up into 8th. My golly gosh there. Oh, incredible stuff there. There's a bit of muck on the circuit there, as Booty is having a look there, going in to into the Vale chicane. Serious Rushman said it's not worth slick tires for 1 more lap. But listen, is that these slick tires, it has to be a quick drying track, and it's not quick by any stretch of the imagination. Is Iron Knight is now on the final lap. Technically he leads the Grand Prix, does he? Because he's got no penalties, and he's now within the 6-second window. We're on board with Booty still. He's on course for a podium here. I don't want to say it, do I? I've said it already there. I think I cannot contain myself here. Oh, incredible stuff indeed there. But what a race this has been. I've really enjoyed this one. This has been fantastic, hasn't it? Winnie now in 8th finish there. Stars is still on course, so for points, and he does have have 3 seconds. He only has 3 seconds worth of penalty stalls, so he needs to keep it clean and precise here, does he, Stars? Oh no, he's got a 6-second penalty stalls, but he still needs to keep it clean and precise then. His teammate's just in front of us, now. He just needs one more lap stall, so he needs to get some major points here tonight. Same with CGS as well. Fantastic drive from CGS there. Really, there's a lot of great drives out tonight in the most difficult of circumstances there. This track condition was absolutely appalling. I think the slick tires are finally coming into... oh my gosh, oh, Sir Dave! Oh no, Styles! Red Bull! That's not good. And I think, oh goodness me, and coming through the final turn then, and now with Styles has got past Winnie and got up into... Eight for this now. I think Sir Dave braked quite abruptly there, didn't he? I'm not sure if he was having troubles in the traction zone in the final couple of turns then. Here comes Picasso! Picasso! Oh no! And Picasso has spun the car! He wasn't going to get pole, he wasn't going to get first position, was he? But he spun it on the final couple of turns there. And then here comes Iron Knight out of the final turn, and Iron Knight wins his first Grand Prix. He wins the British Grand Prix. That is his first Grand Prix win of his career and of the season as well. Picasso has dropped down to first position. Is he going to keep in front of Hammer Time? He does, just about now. That's Picasso's best performance of his career. That's Prix Delight's best performance of his career as well. Magnificent stuff indeed there. Hammer Time's 3/10 of a second away from taking that podium there from Picasso. ZGS said in 5th position now. I think he had a 5th position in his first season, brought in Cobalt, but he's going to equal that now with 5th position. Magnificent stuff indeed. Smithy is going to be in 6th position. Only a 1 penalty there. Fantastic. Really well done indeed there. So we got yellow flag in sector 1 again then. Here comes Smithy in 7th position there. Stars in 7th position there. Here comes Sir Dave as Winnie and Sir Dave are just not leaving each other for any room for whatsoever. And this going to be a cracking end to the race. Dukanko half a minute behind these two at the moment. So he needs to get a bit closer than that if he wants to overhaul these two. I'm not sure where Starburst is, to be honest. I need to find that out. Stars got the fast half of the racer. As Sir Davis, where's Sir David? Sir Davis lost out. He's down into 9th position. Winnie is now up into 8th position, maybe 9th. Sir Davis down into 8th position, maybe 9th. As I'm sure that I don't even know what I'm saying, to be honest. I don't even know. I'm sure that hang on, let me give words there. I'm sure that Starburst is in front of Sir Dave, so I think he might be in 8th position potentially. Dukanko's got the fast lap of the race there, so Dukanko may not be in the top 10, but he does get a bonus point then for the fastest lap then. So good stuff indeed there. Absolutely brilliant. So we're on board the Grand Prix winner then. Here he is at Iron Knight there. And wow, that was his first Grand Prix win of his career and of the season as well in for Iron Knight. And Haas team are going to be overjoyed with this result because I think Haas have now got 3 Grand Prix wins there. So fantastic stuff, Ben, for the Haas team. Really well done indeed then. And Iron Knight there, he's going to be loving it, isn't he? But that podium there, I'm really looking forward to talking to these guys because I think that they're going to be loving it. All 3 of these drivers said have had an absolutely cracking day here today in Alr Cobalt. Fantastic stuff indeed. And look at that, they're spraying the bubbly on the podium as well. Magnificent stuff indeed. That has got a bit of sunshine then to end what has been a very wet and miserable Grand Prix. Very wet and miserable Grand Prix to begin with, but we had a lovely bit of sunshine towards the end as well. I didn't even see who driver of the day was, which is absolutely appalling stuff by me, isn't it? So it's worth saying I taught her booty well, too well. Yeah, I did indeed. But anyway, let's take a final look at the classification then from the British Grand Prix here. Final race of the, here at Silverstone for this season anyway, and we've had 4 fantastic races as well. Iron Knight, his first ever Grand Prix win there, fantastic stuff with Booty, his best ever result and his first podium. Same with Picasso as well, also his first ever podium. The championship leader Hammer Time extends the lead. ZGS then equals his best performance with 5th. Streetfield Mighty 6, Stars fantastic in 7th with Sir Dave 8th, winning 9th. Dukanko in 10th position, 11th is Jinner, 12th is Silver, 13th is Crusher T, Picasso 14th, Liam D in 15th. Scooby's retirements was Scooby Shoo, Starbust, Craig R, and Lucky Buff. Starbust, I don't think retired actually. I think there was issues with his connection. Ooh, I'm not sure if anyone's actually joined me in the gantry, have we? Oh my word, then. Let me have a quick look then, because I might have missed it, because I've been yapping away for far too long. I've been sat up my own there, just talking to myself. And I think they've also upped they've also updated this, also updated the whatever it's called then, the dashboard on the Xbox. I don't even know if it's called Xbox on the PlayStation. Goodness me! Oh gosh, I didn't mean it. Oh my gosh, don't sling me up on my ankles. The old PlayStation. Now, my word then. Whew, my gosh. Right. Well, that was an incredible race. It really was. Let's have a quick plug then, since I don't think anyone's going to be joining me. Next week we are going to the technical twisty circuit of the Hungarian Grand Prix. 35 laps around that circuit. It's a dust bowl, isn't it? And it's going to be a cracking Grand Prix. I have no doubt about that. Jonathan, who's been on the ascendancy in gold, hasn't he? There, he loves that track. I think that was the last time he was on pole position, was in the Hungarian Grand Prix. He's aiming to add to his tally after getting pole position on that Sunday as well. All about silver there. Curly Red, unfortunately, hanging up his helmet for the time being. Hopefully, we'll see him back soon. But now there is a very big margin, isn't there, for young Tommy. He's got a 45-point lead in silver. What about bronze? We got our first ever double winner in Immortal from last night out. But Immortal's been promoted to the Mercedes team for silver. So fantastic stuff there for Immortal. So it's very much but Theo still leads the championship from that point then. And tonight here, Hammer Time now extends his lead after only finishing fourth and on a bit of a difficult race then. But my goodness me, had a great end to the Grand Prix. Right then, as we're now going to, I think we're going to end the stream now. To be honest, I don't think anyone's going to join me, unfortunately, which has made me very sad, hasn't it? There, but that's a shame. Never mind. Anyway, we'll see you. They don't want to speak to me. I have nothing against them. Then. Right, I'm going to bed. I've had a tough 4 days, and I'll see you on Sunday for the Hungarian Grand Prix.